podcast like this? Who gon' bring it to the table? Boss talk. Who your girlfriend favorite? Boss talk.
Check it. It's a unique hustle. It's your boy Eaze-E, and I'm here with the lovely, amazing, official Miss Jamaica. What's going on?
Nothing. My day will go on. I want y'all to stop what you're doing right now. Go like, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. I mean, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, you name it, we're on it. Just Google us, Boss Talk Podcast 101, and we'll pop up. But if you want to see all our visuals, go over to our YouTube channel. There you can find all our content, all our videos. We've been doing this over 3 years. Let me tell you, but we drop content every single day, 2-3 times a day. But if you want to see our exclusive content, because there's some stuff that ain't been out yet. I want to say it ain't been out. That's the only place you can find it. Be a member. How you be a member is under each and every video in the description section below, right down here, there's a link that says join our membership. If you click that link, it takes you through all the process. Thank you for the support, and we love you.
Wow, man. Hey, man, it's going down, man. Hey, I got a guy here who don't need no introduction. One of the coldest I know, man, when it comes to it. This song dedicated. My God. Man, don't make me go there. Okay, we finna get into it, man. It's good to have you back on the show, man. Ever since
y'all made me famous. I owe y'all a check, but
Lamar Deuce is in the building.
I owe you a check. I owe y'all.
Man, you're always welcome here, man. We got to keep doing more to push and keep the culture ahead, man. Like, you are one of those guys that I consider, man, patriotic in the community for the culture. Like, you laid your life on the line for music, bro. And I want to say thank you, man. So we didn't help you. No, you helped us, brother.
Well, we helped each other.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. But, you guys got me. You guys got people talking about me and making me more relevant. So
Man.
Just, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes people call me and go, man, I just seen you on the interview. Doing this, talking about, and then, wait till Miss Jamaica gets back so we can talk about that, because I know she want to, it just really shocked me a couple weeks ago when I got a call. They were like, what you doing on that podcast? And I was like, so I had to look. They sent it to me from New York. Someone called me from New York. And I was like, hey, man, did you know? And I said, what are you talking about? When I looked, I said, man, it ain't that. He ain't his podcast. It's my boy, Boss 101.
Boss Talk 101, man. Like I said, we got you. We going to keep showing you love every time you come to this city.
But it must, to me, I want to know from y'all, let me interview y'all. What did it feel like to have the Suge Knight actually take your stuff and put it on his podcast?
Well, it's not the first time. The Breakfast Club just mentioned us. 50 Cent just posted us on his page.
But how does that feel?
I think it's the work. God is the one to put people in position. So we're not doing nothing. We're just being vessels as we use the God. When we sat in these seats, it was to uplift the culture. And you guys are the culture. So you guys are really already dope. It's not hard work when you're dealing with dope people.
Yeah, but you know what? But you got to realize there's so many other podcasts. So many people do it. And a lot of people don't, you're around the neighborhood. You guys, your stuff goes around the world.
But it's because you got to understand, when it first started off and I'm sitting here and you be like, and she be doing like, she be like, and one day, how you do it, Madele, one go on Madele and all that. And she started talking. I'm praying over here to say, man, let this show be a good show for the person who coming in this show. God, do what we supposed to do here. Let me say the right things to the people. That's every single person, all 3,000 and some, maybe 4,000. I always be sitting over here meditating on what God has showed me throughout the years, that when I speak, he's speaking through me, and I know can't nobody touch that. I'm just being real.
No, but that's real. You know what? I was telling somebody, when I sing gospel music, I pray that God takes Deuce out of it.
That's right.
And puts Lamarr in.
Hey.
And people think it's crazy when I tell them that. And it's not, because I figure Deuce is an entertainer. I don't want to entertain for God. I just want to be a vessel for him and sing. And even if it's a bad note, cracked note, I know that God wanted me to do that.
That's it.
I don't know why I got to tell you this, but my cousin came down from Houston, and he's going to pastor a church in L.A.
Okay.
And they were like, well, you going to come and support him? And I was like, yeah, I'll come. And then everything went wrong this morning. And something told me, you know what? Car wasn't working right. I said, I ain't going. And then all of a sudden, I said, I can Uber. But guess what? I don't know if y'all knew there was a cyber attack last week, and my card didn't work.
Wow.
And when I called the bank, it said I didn't even have a bank account.
Wow.
I was like tripping. But then God said, well, you got the bus. I looked online, and I could catch the bus in like 15 minutes there to the church. So then my cousins told me, hey, we haven't made it there. We're late. So then I said, well, if they late, maybe I guess I can go and show up. So I get on the bus, dressed up. I go there. My cousin told me he didn't want me to sing at the church that day because he wanted me to go to a bigger church. He said, I want you to go, I'm preaching next week at a bigger church. I want you to go there and sing there. Don't worry about this little smaller church. But I don't know what led him, but when he started getting up there to preach, he said, my cousin's here. He's a singer. And he just started talking about me.
Okay.
And what happened is he said, I'm going to have him sing, but I'm going to make sure he sings after I preach. Because if he sings, it's going to be over with. And I thought, cool, you know how you get in your head. Oh, he ain't got to do that because, So I said, oh, Lord, I'm on the spot now. So now I got to sing for real. So I kept thinking, Lord, what am I going to sing? And the lady, I didn't know if she could play it. Next thing you know what? There's a song that's called Worth.
How does it go? You
thought I was worth saving, so you came and changed my life. You thought I was worth keeping, so you cleaned me up inside. You thought I was to die for, so you sacrificed your life so I could be free, so I could be whole. I can tell everyone I know. Like that.
Come on now.
So
I'm talking about it, man.
But when I got to the organist, she didn't know it. She said, well, we know them old school. But then she said, but if God put that in your heart, just sing it and we'll try to follow you. So I sang it. And they were trying to follow me, and the church started just, people started getting, and they started singing it with me. So I sang it. I went and sat down, and people were like, oh, you can sing, boy, you better come back here, all this. But there was a preacher there and his wife. And she turns to me when I'm leaving and she says, I just have to thank you for singing that song. And you know how you normally, I'm used to people telling me, oh, you sounded good, you did that. And she said, I tried to commit suicide 2 weeks ago. And she said, while I was trying to do it, that song came on. And it stopped me. And she said today, her and her husband are homeless now. And she said that they were going through so much. And she said, I was thinking about it again while we were at church. And she said, and all of a sudden, you sing that song.
Wow.
And she said, and it was just, it just confirmation for her that God was still there for her. And it freaked me out, man. I just was like, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't understand, you guys have been vessels for me. You don't understand that. I mean, seriously, when I came in, you just revitalizing me. That show, I ain't gonna lie, the first time I came, remember that show? That show was a complete failure. It was awful.
You talking about the show you did here?
The show that I came to Dallas. That's why I always say Dallas, something about me in Dallas don't click.
But I put that video out a little later. It didn't even come out during the same time.
You're right. But the thing is,
I waited.
But the thing is that show that night, remember the show, she didn't pay me, all kind of stuff happened. It was just awful. The show was just, and she didn't have a lot of people, and then she turned people away from the door that wanted to pay, all my people, just because I went to go change my clothes. She told them, oh, he got mad and he left. And they were like, where are you at? And I was like, getting changed. And I was like, I'm a professional. If I'm like, if my name is on something, yeah, we might be battling about the pay or, I might be upset. But if my name is on something, I'm going to be there because I don't want my fans to think, oh, he all this and that, or, because people don't really understand what the business is like and what we go through. You know what I'm saying? People see you on a marquee or they see you on a flyer, they expect you to be there.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I'm from old school. So I was taught to be there so that you don't disappoint, because you just never know who is in that audience, who needs to hear. And the reason why I thought about what the lady with that, and I said, dang, God, I was about not to come. And she needed to hear that. And and that song wasn't, and I didn't know why. God was like, it's one of my favorite songs, but God was like, you need to sing this today. And I was about to change it, because they said, oh, I know old school. I was going to go, let me get one of them hand clapping, let me do something different. But the lady said, if God put that in your heart, sing that. So I just want to come by and just say, what?
That's hard, though, because God is so good, isn't he?
you know, and to think that, you know, Melvin told me to call you. Said, hey, you got to call them. I respect Melvin that much. Well, I called y'all.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. I mean, I wanted some publicity. But then when I started looking at y'all, I said, oh, God, this is like praise God. This is really going to be good. And then when I got to meet you guys, I was like, y'all like family.
No, you wanted the originals now. Like when you came, it was early on. That's the good thing about it, getting in early. Before all of now it's everybody comes now, but before, when you came, you one of the elite people. To me, it was huge. You came, Link came. It was different ones that came, and I thank God for you even coming by when you was in town. We didn't have a lot. We did. Don't get it twisted. We had some people. Mike Jones. We had the local people that were from Texas. Early on, you know, the Charleston Whites. We had them before everybody, but at the end of the day, you were a person who I respected because I know that you have a real gift that God has given you.
Thank you.
Listening to your music, listen to your journey. Even when you sung here, the song, we had Sir Charles Jones before you. You see what I'm saying? Your friend. So we had a lot of different people, but you was definitely a light, you know what I mean, in the midst of our trying to brighten this whole thing up. So thank you.
No, you know, it's really hard for me to take stuff. It's kind of hard for me sometimes when people tell me stuff, but I accept that. It's been really hard when people tell me stuff. It's, you know, that's my new thing that I have to do. I'm now learned that I have to, when people come to me, because a lot of people come to me and tell me, Lamarr, that song, it meant so much to me. And sometimes I'll be like, the song, and then I've learned that I was there at the right time and God put me there for a reason. It wasn't happenstance. You know, sometimes you think things are happenstance. God does things for a reason. Everything is set up in its own timing, and God does it for a reason. And you just never know the kind of blessing that you might be to someone. You know, when that lady told me she said, yeah, I was going to commit suicide, and then I heard that song, and then today I was really thinking about doing it again, and you sang that song.
Wow.
And her husband was a minister.
Wow.
And you think that those people are untouchable, that they would never think, you know, they know the Bible back of their hand. You know, how could she lose faith? They don't realize that they're human beings.
Let me tell you something.
Just like everybody else.
Judas was walking with Jesus. Judas seen Jesus walk on water. Judas seen Jesus basically heal the blind Bartimaeus. He seen all kinds of stuff. He seen the woman that was caught in the very act. Judas seen everything that everybody else seen. Now, he didn't get to go to the transfiguration with Peter and James and John, but he seen a lot. Judas was right there when they prayed, and he said, you know, basically, could y'all not pray with me for all these hours before he identified him with the kiss when he betrayed him? Judas was there the whole time, and he knew Jesus, who was, to me, the Son of God. So if Judas would turn and do something like that, what you think the other ones would do?
Yeah, I know, but you know what, and I have to admit, we do, but on the preachers, we do kind of edify them thinking that they're...
I don't.
Well, no, but I'm just saying...
People in general.
A lot of people edify the pastors, and they say, you know what, and you know, it's that old adage, do as I say, not as I do. A lot of people do that.
But it's because they don't read. Because if you read, the word tells you that you are not to respect people's persons. You're supposed to be looking to God. It was an old covenant thing where you had to go to the priest, through the priest to get to God.
Well, that's why Jesus came. So
you don't have to. So why are we doing that still?
You know,
why are we still trying to re-implement putting a man in the place where you have to go through him to get to God?
You know, I think it's because sometimes it is because it's hard. It's, you know, the expectations that God puts on you. It is very hard. And sometimes we don't want to take it on ourselves, so we want to put it on someone else. So that's the preacher, that's the pastor.
That is a cop out.
But I'm saying, I'm being real.
I just don't think
that's what people think.
I think that
is a cop out because they're like, well, pastor do it.
You can't.
Pastor say.
I don't really.
Have you ever heard that when people say that?
I heard one. You know what I hear?
Pastor say.
I hear in chapter 10 of John, Jesus say, "I'm the good shepherd." I'm willing to lay down my life for the sheep. It ain't but one.
Well, you know what? You know, most people don't understand. If Jesus would have came, we would have had to have like sheep and ox in your backyard and doves and all that.
That's right, turtle doves.
You had to have doves, and you had to make sacrifices and all that kind of stuff. And he came, so we didn't have to do none of that. No more.
That's it.
He came, so we, you know, he was the ultimate sacrifice. So
man,
you know,
I really, like I said, man, I'm glad you came on the show. You guys done heard the spiritual side of Lamar Lubin, but we about to go somewhere. We about to go somewhere that Lamar Lubin was in some of them P. Diddy parties. Listen, man, it's a lot going on with Diddy right now. So we better fast forward to that. P. Diddy.
Now I'm gonna be honest with you.
Wait a minute. You've been around a lot of stardom. You've been around Hollywood a long time.
But this, and it's not that I'm defending Sean Combs. That's what I knew him as when he was younger. A lot of people don't know that Sean Combs was also raised in the church. You know, Sean knows the Bible. He knows the Bible. He does. He's part of the National Baptist Association. He's part of the Baptist Association. He knows the Bible. Trust me. He grew up. He didn't grow up. He grew up. You know, his mama. He grew up knowing the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So he grew up with that foundation.
Okay, and how do you know that?
Because we knew each other when we were younger. And I knew that. And I was part of the Baptist Association as well. So I knew him from that. That's how I knew him when I was younger. So he was a part of that. I mean, he's very talented. You know, he went to Howard. Come on. A lot of people don't know that. You know, he went to Howard University.
Okay.
He got out, but you know, he went to, I mean, but he went to Howard. He was that smart. You don't just get, I ain't gonna lie, you just don't get into Howard. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Your SATs got to be on point, or ACTs, and you got to write that great letter. Cause I tried to get to Howard, I did.
Okay, let me ask you this: I get to getting into Howard, I get the Baptist Association, but don't you think when people start moving up in their finances and things start to change, you know, there's a thing that once you start going up so far in finances, people tend to change their path, man.
I don't know if it's changed their paths, but I think what happens is that we, what's sad in America. I was just talking to some people about this, my cousins, talking about some ancestors, talking about, it was free black people. And I said, hey, I don't care how free they were. They was never free. We ain't never been free. I don't care if you weren't a slave. You're black and your parents or your grandparents weren't a slave. We ain't never been free. We still ain't free. And we forget that sometimes. We think we've made it. They've, no offense to anybody, they have 400 or 500 years ahead of us of building wealth and building, financial institutions and all that. So when we come and get $1 billion, you have to realize that you that one person. They have a whole network. So if they fall off, they got a whole structure to help them come back. Trump, filed bankruptcy 4 times? 4 times. You think if I did 4 times, I would be here? Mm-mm. Come on. They ain't even they gonna look at me like, excuse me, Mr. Luben, but you can't do this. This is the second time you filed bankruptcy. You can't do this. But he comes in there at 4 times. And we think that we're on that level. We're not. Even when you get to be Oprah status, you have to understand that they don't. They see money, but they also see our color.
No, that's
and they think about our culture. And the thing is that we never get over that. And that's what happened with Cosby. That's what happened with Diddy. That's what happened with a lot of. And some people tell me, well, all the white people, they getting in trouble too. But guess what? They go on them plush. We go to the hard sales. They go to them plush resorts in the prisons. They got the money to do that. We don't. And then you have to understand that if you become a millionaire and you fall off and you black, who do you have to go and say, hey, I promise you I'm going to remake this money and I'll give it back to you? And we don't do that with each other.
Okay, let's go back to Diddy, though, and these allegations, man. I want to know, have you ever been at any of those parties where he threw parties? Have you ever been?
I was at a party not too long ago, about a year or 2 ago.
And it was a Diddy party?
Yeah, it was up in the Hollywood Hills. I did go. We got an invitation and we went.
And
cool.
How was the chemistry in there? How did everything?
I mean, to me, it was an industry. I mean, it's an industry party. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what I don't get.
What goes on in these parties, though? Lamar,
this is what I don't get. The guy who came out talking about his assistant, I think it was a setup. The one talking about, Diddy was walking around butt naked and all that kind of stuff. Well, when you're an assistant, that's what happens sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because he's trying to probably dictate, here, you need to do this, you need to do that. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, he should have said to Diddy, excuse me, Mr. Combs, P. Diddy, whatever you want to be called, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to be called, I'm not comfortable with you walking around butt naked in front of me. Well, do you feel like, I'll get fired? Well, if he's such a Christian, because this is what the guy said, well, I mean, I'm a heterosexual Christian man. Well, you being a heterosexual Christian man, why don't you say, hey, check this out. This ain't cool. Don't walk around me butt naked.
He don't want to lose his job.
Okay, well then that's not the job for you. Because apparently he hired someone he thought was going to be cool, and they probably asked him these questions. Hey, do you mind I walk around butt naked sometimes? You know, I'm a nudist, or I don't know what Diddy's doing, but you know what I'm saying? I do know that Diddy has changed a little bit from when he first started. You know what I'm saying? I do know that, you know.
How has he changed?
Well, I
give me a description of what he used to be compared to what he is now. To your knowledge.
To my knowledge, and y'all don't take this, don't be like, Deuce said, but to my knowledge, you know, Diddy was a hard worker. You know, he worked hard for what he got. He did. Don't think it was just by happenstance. Don't think someone say, I heard he had sex with somebody and he got millions. No. No, Diddy worked his butt off.
Yeah, he grinded.
He grinded. He really did. And even if he did get money that way, he grinded. But anyway, but he grinded. And my thing is that we get so jealous of when people get, you know, like I know there are people mad at you guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know they pissed. Probably. I mean, I do. You know what's funny now? When people see that I've been on there, you know, CEO, you know what, yeah, that Negro ain't called, excuse me, he ain't called me or nothing. I've been trying to get, you know, there's a couple people. He know me. I go fishing with his brother, you know. That's a true story, ain't it? I go fishing with, I said, but he don't know you. You know what I'm saying? You go fishing with his brother. Well, he's supposed to call me. He ain't called me. I mean, hey, brother just now came through. What'd he say? You supposed to call me, man. You ain't call. So people, you know what I'm saying? So you get that now. And then people go, well, he acting different. Mm-hmm. It ain't that you acting different. You got things to do. Maybe we should call you.
Yeah.
Maybe out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm saying? I can't expect you to always go, hey, Lamarr, I want to do this and that. Maybe I need to call you sometime.
So that's
you
the way.
You do call me sometime.
Well, I do.
So that's the way he changed.
Well, to me, what happened is that once he started getting the money. I think what really hurt him is that when Biggie died, I really felt that he changed then.
When he sang, I'll be missing you. He was really going through it.
I really think he was really going through it. And I think that what happened is that when you do start making money like that, you're, how do I put it? Your surroundings change.
Wow.
So now you're around people because you're the money guy. The Caucasian money guys start coming around. Then they start telling you tips. Stock options, you should do this. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? We make more money. Because you make more money, they making more money. Don't think that they try to get him rich to make him rich. Whatever he did, he made somebody else rich.
But
I think wouldn't it even hurt him even more? Because when he lost Kim Porter, I mean, that crushed him terribly too.
And then for people to go around saying, you executed her, you the one that killed her. You know what I'm saying?
That has to mentally affect anybody.
Oh yeah. But I think what happened is that because he has the money and he's got the people around him. See, what happens is that once you get that money, because you know, I was with Hammer. Hammer had all that. You start, you know, he might get mad at me saying this, but I don't care. I remember one time Hammer made a joke in front of all these guys. Who was there? Vander Holyfield was there. Dion was there. Craig Brooks. All of them were there. And he made this joke, and it was very corny. And everybody, it was laughing. Somebody, you know how they run around and that's funny. And I didn't find it funny. And I just was like, okay. And later on, I remember him coming to me and said, you know what I like about you, Lamarr? He goes, you real. And I said, why you said that, Ham? He said, I said that joke intentionally to see who would laugh and who wouldn't. And I was like, oh, that's deep.
That's real deep.
Because he said, watch what people, he say, listen what people say to you, he said, and then watch what they do.
When you think about MC Hammer, though, he They say he was more street than just that dancing wasn't all it was to him.
Yeah, well, as y'all know on they took from y'all. Yeah, I'm the one that mentioned that. Yeah, he was. He wasn't that goofy guy that ooh, I'm dancing in my pants. That wasn't him. He was high street boy. He was he came from the streets. He did. Did he
commit his own demise by hiring and bringing all those people with him?
Probably so. You know what? Even though I'm mad, I get mad because of my dealings, what happened with me. But I do have to admit, we had a lot of hanger-oners. We had people, and it seemed like at some point, sometimes that he did more for them to prove something, and I don't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the people that were supposed to make the money didn't, and the people that weren't making the money, he kind of showered them a little more.
Do you know Too Short was on it even back then on that Life's Too Short? I think now it's kind of funky. I remember him saying, he was talking about him. It was subliminally said. He said 50 million dancers in a big old band. That ain't me. I'm from old school. You know what I mean? Play the instrumental, grab the mic, and I'm cool. Like, he knew that was overkill. You didn't feel that when you was in the midst of it? Because it was a big movement.
But you have to realize that I came, even though I was in the midst of it, I really came during the first bankruptcy.
Oh, okay.
So he was restructuring everything. He kind of realized that you know what I'm saying? Because what happens is that when you have those, you forget you got insurance. You forget that you got lawsuits because you're people that work for you. They don't sue the people that work for you. They sue you because you're the big boss. You don't want all the money. Nobody want to peon. They're like, I don't want to get 20,000. Oh, he got 20 million. Let me get him so I can get more money. And you got that. And then you start doing things and going and gambling. And then, and then what's so crazy, then you get to Vegas and then they comp your rooms, give you $20,000 worth of chips. Then you put down $200,000 of your own money. The next thing you know, you lost $400,000-$500,000.
What did you do? What did you see in Hammer that made you feel like he was not as just Mr. Dancy? What made you feel like he was street? What was it? Had to be something that made you think that.
When me and him had one-on-one talks in the office, and when I talked to him, when we had, you know what I'm saying? Even when we started arguing about money or arguing about stuff I should do, you know what I'm saying? He that's when he would put on that. He put on the business. He put on the tough, like, hey, it's this way. I mean, I remember one time we had a disagreement in the group, and he was like, well, why don't y'all just box it out? And I said, what you mean box it out? And he said, I'm going to put a ring, because we used to fight. He said, I'm going to put a ring in your garage, and we'll just get some boxing gloves, and y'all just fight. And whoever knocks the other person out, that's the winner. And let's go on.
And I think that was not a bad thing, because during that time.
But he was saying that's what you need to do so that y'all, instead of you trying to kill each other, go ahead and box it out.
That was the old school. That's what they done.
I mean, but that's him. That was him.
And that's what he would want to try to set up.
Actually, that's what he would do.
He would make this actually happen.
Yeah, we actually had people in the camp, and he would have boxing man. He would be like, yeah, y'all just duke it out instead of y'all. It's better than that than you coming back with a pistol and trying to shoot somebody.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Who all was in that group that was popular during that time? That I know 357 was.
Ho Fred Ho, 357. Go for it. What's his name? I can't think of his name. You had Ace Juice, 357. You had, of course, Angie B.
Wow.
You had us. A lot of people don't know Hammer and his brother Lewis. They were the managers for a lot of, like, Heavy D, Ralph Tresvant. Who else did they have? From Guy, Aaron Hall.
Now we talking Aaron Hall.
Yeah, Hammer used to work with
Aaron Hall. Now you take me somewhere. That Aaron Hall. It goes back. He had a Vlad TV interview, and he said he was at the P Diddy party, and he came through. He said that he come through after everybody. When he messed with it, like they were running these things on different women, and this what he said on it, and everybody else go, but they know when he come through, like he coming through like with the he that guy, like this was on play. I'm telling you, bro, these parties is really people.
And what I don't get is that those parties, this is what I don't get why everyone's talking now about these parties. it was supposed to be like Vegas. What's done at the party stays at the party. And I don't get why. But I think it's because, no offense, I think what happened with Cassie, because everybody's trying to get money. Everyone's on that money tip now. Everything, I'm going to tell what happened here. I'm going to tell, but you don't tell what you did. You tell what other people did, but you don't tell what you did. And my thing is, they're grown people. You know, if you did something, you did something. People were young at the time, and you have to realize that, and when, like Cosby, when you get that kind of money, you do feel like you white people and you're untouchable. You feel like you can't be touched because, they've taught you how to get runners and how to get people out your business and how to blackball people, all that kind of stuff. So you think you can do that. But getting back to the religious stuff, what's done in the dark always comes out
to the light.
To the light. And God, and the thing is that, this is what I tell people. When people do things to me, I say, and one time I got accused of, someone said, oh, you threatened me. I didn't threaten him, but this is what I did tell him. I'm a child of the king. I don't do everything right. You know what I'm saying? My mom and them get mad because I say, I'm a heathen saved by grace. You know what I'm saying? They get mad when I say that sometimes. But I tell them, I know whose I am. I don't do everything right. I do a lot of wrong things. I've done a lot of wrong things in the past. I'm still doing wrong things. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm human. I'm fallible. You know what I'm saying? But I know who I am. I know whose I am. And I can tell them, I'm a child of the king.
Wow.
So when you're a child of the king, you have to realize that there's, what you call it, retribution. When you do things to children of the king don't take that lightly. And he will, you know what I'm saying? He'll fight your battle. And you know how we want to get back at somebody? He do it much better.
I want to ask you, and that's dope, man. Like I said, God is real. I want to ask you about I want
to ask one more question about the P. Diddy thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, because you are a celebrity. You've been to multiple celebrity parties. Okay, and people always jump on P. Diddy parties, but in my mind, a lot of these celebrity parties are just the same. Is that true? Like.
I mean, it just depends on.
They all can get wild.
Circle. It depends on the circle that you're at.
Okay.
Because it's not just celebrity parties,
and it's not just
It's regular parties as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that. They're just people that. See, we forget celebrities just people.
But when I say celebrities, because I know.
But I see what you're saying. But they have an echelon, a certain type of
and they have the money.
Yeah.
And it's just like people are competitive. So I come to your party and your party banging and you doing all of this. I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to upstage you. I need to do something what you're doing plus more.
Yeah, and
do you see that a lot?
I remember. No, I hope he don't get mad at me telling. I remember when I won't say his name. I remember when a young gentleman who got famous. He's an actor, a singer. His sister's a big time singer, and he got famous for a video. I remember when he was younger, I kind of chaperoned him a couple times at a party.
Okay,
Hollywood party, and and this is what's the trip. I have a friend who's a big time singer. Y'all know who he is. And I found out that he was on drugs.
Okay.
And
at that time?
No, he dibbled and dabbled.
Okay.
He was on drugs. And I used to hang around him, and I said, I never knew you were on drugs. That bad. He was strung out. Didn't ever know it.
He hit it well.
Yeah. And I said, well, why didn't you let me know, and why didn't you invite me to do it? Because I was cool with him like that.
Right.
And you know what he told me? He said, there was something about you, Deuce. Something about you that, because I found out there were a couple of my friends in the industry that used to do it, and they used to hide it from me. They used to go, see, so this is what happens in parties. They have back rooms. So people can't tell me, oh, I was out and they was doing it in front. No, there's back rooms. People know who to go to which back room. They know who will go. They know who won't go. And I was never really invited to some of those back rooms. You know what I'm saying? To
some of those back rooms.
Yeah.
So you got invited to some. Not some.
But I wasn't invited, like especially those, I wasn't invited to. I remember my brother, I remember I went to a party in LA back in the day. It was when I was first coming up. And I went to a room where they had these big time celebrities.
All right, cool.
Can't tell you.
You know he's not going to tell.
But I mean, and they had some
it'll mess some things up.
They had some basketball people in there that were really Really
Okay.
huge. When I say huge, I mean it's like
I know exactly what you're talking about.
and they were doing some drugs, some drugs, and I was back there, and my brother heard that I was in this back room. My brother must have busted the door open. He said, "Oh no, bring your butt right here!" And it was embarrassing, but he took me out. When I looked back, I saw there was a tray, and I saw the stuff on the tray, and he was like, "Believe me, you were gonna do it." And I said, "No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't." And he was like, "Yeah." And sometimes I think the reason why I didn't get some of my money at the time, and I didn't get some of the
Because you weren't involved in all of that?
No, because God knew I was not strong enough at that time. See, he was protecting me this whole time. Because if I would have went back there, think about it. If I would have did it, I might not be here today.
Yeah.
I really feel like if I would have got all that money, I would have been dead probably. Because I listened to a lot of people. I wanted to, I like to go out. I like to kick it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Were you the type of person who liked to be accepted back then?
I don't know, because my mama would tell you I was a weird child. I was one of them kids that I could go to the movies by myself. And nobody in my family understood that. I would have a great time at the movies by myself. So I've always been like, you know what I'm saying? So I was always that person that I didn't have a clique, but I had several cliques because I fit in different cliques. Mm-hmm. I could just, I go,
versatile.
I could just go here. Some people couldn't go. I go with the nerds, I go with the cool people, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That just was me.
Wow.
But I will tell you this. Some of those people that weren't around those times, we got to stop listening to these blogs that talk about, like, oh, well, this is what I heard. If you weren't there, how are you going to talk about it? What pisses me off is, like, I just heard a report that they were trying to say that Christopher Williams was in the P. Diddy's office doing some, you know what I'm saying? Chris ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Chris is family. He's my family. Chris ain't like that. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to say here on Boss Talk, I know it wasn't Chris at the office. I know it wasn't.
Because you know who it was.
I know it was. I trust me, it was not Chris. And I know, and I know the situation that happened, and nothing like that. And whatever the person's saying happened, didn't even happen.
I don't like it that y'all try to play like y'all don't understand why the blogs do what they do. When you had the tabloids for many, many years that did the same thing.
Yeah, but we didn't. But
you understand what I'm saying? The tabloids did the same thing. But the Inquirer, all that stuff was doing the same exact thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so when Hammer was going through his thing, and I was, and we weren't getting paid, and we was having the fights and all that, I had to get a job at. I was still going to Capitol Records, still going to Kick It, going in there, and I went in there one time with I had to work for UPS. My song's still on the radio. Still kind of number one. Still. Which song?
Gangsta Lean.
Gangsta Lean.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just starting to do the Jason's Lyrics soundtrack. I walk into the office at Capitol with my UPS uniform on, and they start laughing. Oh, is it Halloween? I said, no. I said, I gotta eat, don't I? And they were like looking at me like I was crazy. Now, Jamie Brown had a magazine called Right On and Sister Sister. All of a sudden, in the magazine, it was told about Hammer's finance, what's going on with Hammer's finances. One of his artists, when they saw him in a UPS uniform, was asking, why was he, you got a big song, why are you in the uniform? He said, I gotta eat, don't I? So one of them executives, I know who it was, got rich, so, told it.
Sold the information.
Yes, sold the information. So when that happened, they called me and said, hey, this guy's my witness. Put my hand on the Bible. Entertainment Tonight called me. I'm broke. Offered me $2,500. That's a lot of money back then. It was in the 90s. Could have used that. Can we break a story with you? What story you want? We want to talk about Hammer and his finances. What's going on with you? Hammer. I said, can I get back to you? Got back. Call my mom, call my big bro. He's a little minister. And I talked to them and I said, what y'all think? And they said, well, would you want them to do that to you? No. I know you're upset with them. I know you guys are going through it. You're a black man. You want to tear them down like that? You tear them down like that, you might never get anything resolved because then you have animosity with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when they call me back and they ask me, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't want to do it, but I turned it down. And sometimes I go, dang, why'd I do it? But I did it because I felt like that was wrong. I felt like, that's dirt that me and him need to settle. I don't need to sell him out like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I had things that I did that I don't want him to tell about. You know what I'm saying? So why would I want to do that to him? And that's what's wrong today. We sell out for $1 quick, just real quick. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We'll sell each other, and this is why it's hard sometimes when you're an entertainer. People be like, don't take a picture of me, don't do this, don't do that. Oh, who you with? Who, you know what I'm saying? You make sure I know who's in my house, because you can't trust people sometimes. Because people come and they act like they want to be your best friend.
So everything in the tabloids and in the blogs is not always false.
No, some of it is. I mean, this is what my mom likes to say.
Some of it true, but
With the devil,
disrespectful.
some of it, my mother likes to say this. There's a little true in it. It's a lie, but there is a little true in it. That's what the devil does. He tell you this, put a little truth in it, but the rest is a lie. Some of it is true. Some people do take when they become famous. They think it's like a birthright for them. You know what I'm saying? Like and then they start acting on it. But if you notice, everyone that's done that, what happens? I like to say, all fall down. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You fall down because you got to realize that. And I really feel like a lot of those people have been covered by God sometimes.
No, I think the difference is in society now. Back then, when people had, gossip columns and all of that, they pick and choose who they want to get information from. So they had like a few people. Now that we have social media and everybody's putting information out there and everybody has a voice, and even if they're not on a podcast or on a blog, they have their own social media that they can go online and put whatever they seen or whatever. They took a video or they're just talking. And that video, as much as they might only have 100 followers, can still go viral to 10 million people. So that's the difference between back then people were talking in the backyard. Back then, now people are talking on social media. So it's like everybody see it compared to back then. It's just whoever was sitting in that yard that day would hear about it or see it.
Well, but then you also realize that there were people back then that befriended entertainers just so they could do that.
Really?
Just so that they could sell a story. Just so that they could be like, well, I know them and I know this is that. Everybody, I mean, what gets me is now with the way Facebook and Instagram is, you ever notice when people die, people like to run and be the first one to tell you that they died. Mm-hmm. And I know this is wrong for me to think, but I always wonder, like, how they always come up with a picture with the people, like, with them? And I always wonder, like, did you ever give it to them when they was alive? Like, did you ever show the picture to them? Like when they was alive? Right. I'm always waiting for people to die and go, oh, look, I got a picture with them. So what does that mean? That was your best friend? Was you know what I'm saying? Are you just are you clout chasing it? Saying,
but you can almost know those people even if without them putting anything on social media. I used to always wonder how people can get certain pictures, like something happened on the road. I'm driving on the road and I see something happen. You know how much, what should I say, how much it takes out of me to grab my phone. I literally have to stop to get something. You see something crazy. But you see those videos online all the time, and I'm like, how do they get that? Like in that instant? Because when you're driving or when how do you get it? Unless you just have your phone and record all the time trying to look for something.
People say I do that too. They say, you always recording. You know what? It's this phone, I don't know, this little gadget.
I see stuff all the time crazy, but by the time I take up my phone, I'm already gone. So it don't make no sense.
Well, it's like this. It's like I ain't gonna lie. It's like if you lose your phone, you lost your life.
In today's society, yes.
It's like you lost your life. And I was just thinking, like, what did we do? Like getting here. You sent me the GPS. Mm-hmm. I was literally thinking, what did we do before GPS?
Stop at a corner. How do I get to such and such?
Like, how did we get to work?
Like 5 rights and 4 lefts and...
Yeah, like, what? I was like, I remember the Thomas guy, but I'm thinking, like, what if you could afford one of those?
Yeah, the map.
Masco.
I was like, well, yeah, but I'm thinking, what did we really do before? Like, how did you find like where to go, what to do, how to get places? I can't remember that.
I can't.
I can.
I can't.
People told you directions.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying, like.
Well, you got to realize he riding around in big cars.
Being driven around. He didn't have to
worry about
That's
like
not-
me and
no,
you.
that's not
We
true.
normal people.
No, that's not
No.
true.
But
I don't remember. But I really don't remember. I don't remember before GPS.
Do you know how much a gallon of milk costs?
Yeah, dude, it's $3.99.
Let me ask you a question, man. Dirty, rotten scoundrels. Like, who came up with that name, and do you think that was the right name after all these years?
Yeah, because at that time and point, remember there's a movie called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, and it was and the guy, his name was Chris Jackson. He's the one in prison right now. Chris came up with that name. He came up with it, DRS, and I thought that was apt. I thought because of what we were portraying at the time, we weren't dirty, we were rotten, we were scoundrels.
Yeah, but you guys were a group of men that was dressed up like NWA, and NWA, and then you basically y'all had a church background, and y'all was basically taking and putting in
Everybody got a church background.
Yeah, but y'all was
Snoop got
choir
a
boys.
church
Y'all was
background.
y'all was
All of
choir
them.
boys.
Everybody.
And then y'all switched over into this gangsterism.
Is this what Melvin told you?
Yeah.
Thank you, Melvin Farmer. A-Tray Gangsta.
Explain that to me.
So, you know what? I'm going to kick Melvin's butt. Okay, so necessarily they wasn't church boys, choir boys. I was in the choir. That's what he's trying to tell you. My brother wasn't, though. I was the one that was in. I was in the choir. Yes, EJ, yeah, we were. But you have to realize at that time, everybody, you either had affiliation or you did something, or your friends were either Crips or Bloods at the time. And that was just kind of like our society. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. So, like I tell people, true gangsters ain't making records. I don't care what nobody say. And my buddies that do make records, and they like, dude, you know what you're talking about? You lying. I don't care, and I'll tell you in the face. Because you don't think about making records and being famous. True gangster, I said it last time on the show. True gangster want to be in the streets, want to hustle, want to make their money, don't want to be known. Don't want police know who they are. They want to be undercover. They want, you know what I'm saying? That's why later on in life you find out, Mr. Bob down the street, that was the biggest dope dealer in the country, because he laid low. You know what I'm saying? He did his dealings, but he didn't go out there and make a record about it and say, yeah, I shot 20 people and I'm this bad and I'm doing this and that. I feel bad for that kid. You hear about the kid that spray painted Nipsey Hussle's
and got killed. Yeah,
and got killed. His
mule.
Clout chasing on there. Yeah, I'm a blood, and started spray painting the thing, and then he's on this. Now this is what we were just talking about, Miss Jamaica. He did it.
I didn't hear about it.
So what he did was he went and he spray painted Nipsey Hussle's the mural. Stayed online and kept the phone. Got in his car, and people actually watched him where he was at. They knew. Oh, he's on this block. Oh, turn the corner, he's on this block. And they killed him.
But he wasn't doing anything bad. He was.
You can't make a mockery. He making a mockery of that.
I thought you mean he.
No, he spray painted over it.
Over his mural.
Oh my God.
He vandalized. No, he vandalized.
Oh, I was wondering if that's what you meant. I thought you meant he.
Wow.
Okay.
But he did it, and he touted everybody on screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many fans Nipsey Hussle has?
Yeah.
You know how many people like that are like, that's my dog. And then to go and to, record yourself riding around LA.
Yeah.
And we don't know.
You putting
landmarks.
a target on your back.
He put a target on his back. And that's what I'm saying. True gangsters wouldn't have done that.
No.
I don't really think they would.
Clout chasing.
Yeah, it was clout chasing. I don't think he would have done that.
Not in the time when you guys came up, man. You came up in a time where Michael Conception was one of the main.
Yeah, he's in my video.
Yeah, talk to me about kind of how he ends up in your video, and talk to me about how it was just linking up with him.
Him and Hammer were like really good friends, and he did. We're all in the same game.
Yeah, we were all in the same game.
And he actually was, he had Rome. He had a couple of, I can't think of some of the other acts, but he had his own acts. And he was promoting and doing that kind of stuff. And I'm pretty sure that the reason why, he invested money in us.
Wow.
So that's why almost everybody invested money with us at the video.
So they invested money into you and the Hammer and them movement? Mm-hmm. So he was one that was a pretty much a guide, helped to try to promote what you guys were standing for at the time.
Yeah, and you have to realize that that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to have legitimacy. You can't be a gangster group and not have legitimacy. You can't be, you got to have people around you. Yeah, that are in the game.
Wow,
and stuff like that. And the reason why he wanted me to tell you this, because I did apologize. I did a thing where I apologized to kids, and I said, I felt bad because here we are promoting, and I just got into it with a guy a little bit on Facebook about this, that they don't believe, he said, I don't believe kids look at you on television and want to be a gangster. And I told him that's not true, because you have to realize that the media is very powerful. And they would say, well, no, it was your environment. It's not always the environment, because why do you have all these people that had mother and fathers at their house and went to church? Why they gangbanging? Why are they out there on the streets? Why are they selling dope? Why are they doing that? If that wasn't their environment that they were brought up in, they saw it from somewhere. Mm-hmm. They learned it from somewhere. And a lot of times the media did. And it didn't dawn on me until one of my cousins was like, hey, I need you to get a job. I need you to go to church. You need to cut your hair. You got them dreads in your hair. And he told me straight up, nigga, I'm trying to be like you.
Wow.
And I was like, but I went to college. I did, you know what I'm saying? So I realized, I said, well, I did all this so I can make money so that y'all could have a, career. You could, go to college, I make money, do this and that. And I had to apologize because I was saying that a lot of us, we don't really want to live like that.
That's real.
Most people want to have a decent, you want to make money, but you want to, and what I feel was sad is that because of the way society is, because we weren't really given chances being black men. You know what I'm saying? I don't care, like I tell people, we really do, we're really owed reparations, I'm sorry. Because no matter where you come from, social, economic, I don't care if you're a lawyer. When that cop car come running behind you, we all tense up. I don't care who you are. I don't care. Look, I have actually I had my license was good, my insurance was paid for, my tags was good, and man, cop come behind me, I tense up.
Me too.
Sometimes
we all do.
You be tripping like, oh, did I drive straight enough? Oh my God, let me turn. And then sometimes you be,
was I really speeding?
Like, am I speeding too much? And then you go, I want to turn that corner right now.
Yeah.
But I better not, because if I do, you're probably thinking I'm trying to avoid him.
Something, yeah.
That's a lot of stress.
It is. I got to ask you, Tone Loc, you knew Tone Loc?
Yeah, I met him. Yeah.
You met him. Like how did you guys ever get to work together? You just met him? He was a part of...
He actually, when I met Tone Loc, it was after DRS. I had a couple people that were like, oh, you talk, your voice is like Tone Loc.
Okay.
And so when I met Tone Loc, I met him because he was trying to tell me I needed to get into voiceovers. Because a lot of people don't know, that's what Tone Loc made his money from, voiceovers. And he was telling me about a couple classes to take and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what, maybe I could do that.
Yeah.
But when I did try to do it, the problem was I sounded too much like Tone Loc. Because somebody told me, we already got Tone Loc, we don't need you.
That's dope, though.
You know what I'm saying? We already got a Tone Loc.
Did you like his music and everything that he did?
Yeah, I did. I liked him.
Yeah.
I liked him.
He had a good run.
Yeah, and he was a good guy, actually.
Yeah.
He was a good guy, actually.
For him to take the time out to even talk to you about that. Because a lot of times, I guarantee you met some people that you probably ain't gonna say their name, but that was not even like that, not even approachable.
Well, it's really a trip. Some of the biggest people come to me and freak out on me.
What?
Well, some people that weren't famous, you know what, I forget, we were famous a long time ago.
Before everybody.
We got famous before other people got famous. And roles where, number one in England, number one in Australia, you know what I'm saying? Ireland. We got famous. And so people come up to me that are real famous and go, "Oh my God, you're the guy from DRS," and like, "Oh my God, I heard you when I was a kid, and you know my mama loved that song, and oh my God, that made me when I sing." And what I love when they say, "I seen you on there doing it," and I figure I can do that too. That's what I love to hear that. But it's the people that aren't really big are the ones that act like
they're big.
Oh God. Those are the ones that have problems.
Did you, Eaze-E, they named the street after him since me and you was on there together. How big was that? And, you know, seeing him come up early in his career, like, what do you think he would have thought about people naming the street after him if he was here to even see it?
He would probably try to play it off like it didn't mean nothing to him, but I think he would have really been just like, because back then, I don't really, because he didn't, it's so sad he died young. He really didn't get to see the impact that he had on the world. You know what I'm saying? He knew he had an impact, but he didn't realize that his impact went all over the world. You know, you go to China, you go to Japan. You know what I'm saying? All of that. There's a trip that you said that yesterday, before I left LA, they have a mural of all of them, and it's like their kids. Dre, him, Yella, and who else is there?
Marin?
Yeah. And it's a trip to
Was
see
Ice Cube on there?
No, Ice Cube. I'm sorry, it's Ice Cube. No, it's Ice Cube, Yella, Eaze-E, and
Is
Dre.
it five? Oh, it's four.
I think it's four, just four. I think. Could be wrong, but I remember seeing four. And it was just a trip to see it. You know, just to think, these 4 or 5 black young men started a whole new genre of music. And on top of it, they got to be known from Compton and South Central, Los Angeles, to be known all over the world. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you have leaders in other nations. I'm pretty sure the Queen, Prince, they all they've all heard it. They've seen the movie, you know what I'm saying?
Was the movie accurate though? Because I talked with Danny Boy. It wasn't Danny Boy.
Oh, I saw that.
I talked to
Danny Boy. You need to call me.
I talked to Danny Boy and I talked to BG Knockout. BG Knockout.
I'm thinking about what's his name
BG
too,
Knockout.
who was in the show.
We also talked to.
Wait.
What was the other guy's name? I gotta say his name.
But that was Suge Knight era.
What was his name? The boy that
was in the show Straight Outta Compton.
The one that was in Straight Outta Compton portrayed the one who
had the studios.
The one who Dre them had his damn, it just almost came to me.
The one who had the studio.
Lawrence,
no.
You're talking about Alonzo. You know they're doing a documentary about Alonzo right now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's opening up the club again.
He is?
Yeah, the Eve After Dark.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about it.
Hey, look, if you see this, Alonzo, this is me, Deuce. I'm trying to do my gospel brunch at your place, man. So if you see this, remember me.
He gonna see it.
Yeah, remember me. But I'm trying to do gospel brunch there.
Me and him talk probably once or twice a month, but
tell him, say Deuce, he gonna be like, oh Lord, because they're fixing it up. And I want to do something there. I think
he good people though. He don't never get out his element. He just who he is, and I love that about him.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, wasn't y'all there together when we did the last interview in LA?
They were just probably passing each other.
I think
Freeway. I think you've seen Freeway. Shout out to Freeway Ricky. I just seen him again too when I was in LA.
Yeah, and it's a trip. I seen him. I was flying somewhere. That man go all over.
He be everywhere.
I think
he just opened a dispensary out there.
Oh, but no. I was like either in Connecticut or some crazy place, and he was there. And I'm like, "What you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm doing so." You know, and you know what's so neat about him? He just being G.
He nonchalant about all that.
He just being a G's and like just you know.
He not into fashion at all like that. He been that way his whole life and had so much money.
Man, that's what I was saying. I go, this man is filthy rich, and he just. But see, that teaches us a lesson.
That teaching us a lesson.
All of us walking around with this. Oh, I got this diamond. I got diamond that. You know, and then so he can probably eat wherever you want to eat.
Oh, he's chilling.
That's why he fly wherever you want to fly.
Wherever, however you want to do it.
Here we robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah,
just so we can look good out in public.
I want to go back to the whole movie, the Danny Boy, all these people that was pretty much looking at that situation. Some people said that, you know, when I talked to BG Knockout, he said, he don't feel like Eaze-E. He feel like he didn't die of just age, that there was some tampering that went on. He felt like it happened too fast. he says that he think there was some stuff went on. There was a lot of stuff being said, of course. Suge Knight even say, maybe stick a little bit of Eaze-E in you, whatever, you know. What do you think about when Eaze-E passed away?
That was a real sad time because I remember that. And I remember his wife. It was really sad for her. Because, you know, she used to be the secretary for him and she was with him all that time. And she was, you know, she was down for him. You and
BG Knockout tell a very different story because he says that she was not. He says she was not around until once he passed. Then they started to see it. They didn't really know him. These are guys that were directly in the mix of it. You might have seen her and knew her a different way than those guys did.
Well, I mean, that's what I thought. I mean,
did you ever see her before?
Yeah, but I don't think they were married then.
They wasn't.
They weren't married. She was his secretary or something. She worked for him.
Right.
BG Knockout said they weren't even married when he passed.
Oh, they weren't?
Said that she did something while he was on his deathbed, and
they called her to be
and they got married while he was in the hospital about to pass away.
That might be true because I do know that she was like his secretary or something. She was either secretary or something like that. She worked for him though.
That's what allegedly we were told.
Yeah, no, she worked for him because I remember talking to her and all that kind of stuff. So she did do either paperwork or she did stuff for him.
Wow.
I was always in the assumption that she was a secretary of his. And that she had been there with him all that time.
In the movie, it shows him almost in a 2 or 3 bedroom brick house at the end that he downscaled from when you see him with what's that guy name? The one you. What's that guy name?
No, I can't tell you nothing about the movie.
What's the guy name?
You never watched it?
You told me about the guy. What was the guy name? You told me about the white guy, the Jewish guy.
Oh, Heller.
Heller. We see him on a big party. Jerry
is his nephew. Jerry and Terry. That's right.
We see him in a big house, and then they downscales it at the end of the movie, and the movie depicts him like he downgraded homes, and like he was pretty much had lost like a lot of stuff, pretty much. When you seen him, was he still? From what I hear, according to BG Knockout, he was still doing well, but the movie depicted him as he had downgraded homes.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't want to watch the movie.
No, I'm talking about his home. I'm not talking about the movie.
But I didn't watch the movie.
Okay, but I'm talking about his home. At the end, did he seem to be?
From what I understand, and I think his son is out there. Little Eaze-E is out there, and he'll know more. But I thought he was doing the same. So from what I understood, he was the same. I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but Eaze-E didn't come from a poor background. Eaze-E's family had money.
Wow, I didn't know that.
No, he didn't come from. No, his family. He came from. They owned a house and everything. His mother and father were a couple. He didn't come from no broken home or nothing like that. He came from a good family, from Compton. A lot of people think Compton's like, because Compton's bad. Compton got some nice homes. Compton got even horse trails. Compton, you know what I'm saying?
I heard that.
Yeah, Compton, what made Compton bad was the people.
Yeah.
But if you look at the geography or whatever, look at the houses are nice. I mean, 4-bedroom, 2-bath homes, 2-car garages, You don't see, it wasn't a lot of, like in LA, like, having a lot of, what do you call them, the tenements or projects? Compton families own their own homes in Compton.
What did you think when they made Ruthless Records? Because you can remember when it first happened.
Well, you got to realize that when Weave came out, the guys had already set up the deal with him. So we already had the demo deal with Eaze-E. When I got in, that's what Eaze-E was like. Oh, I want to hear this boy. I want to see you. And so that's when I came down. That's when I got to meet him. Honestly, to this day, I wish we could have stayed with Eaze-E. I wish I would have known that he actually called. I wish we could have maybe done a deal with him. I really feel like, personally, and I could be wrong, but I think Eaze-E would have kind of been on the up and up with us. I've heard talk about stuff, but I just kind of felt like maybe he would have given us a better deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just that's how I feel.
Do you and you may or may not even been around to see it or you heard about it? Allegedly, Suge Knight tries to force Eaze-E's hand on getting him to sign Dre over to Death Row.
I mean, I've heard those rumors. I've heard about that.
A lot of people say it didn't happen because he wouldn't dare come at Eaze-E like that.
Well, I mean,
like the streets wouldn't have let that happen.
Oh, I'll be honest with you. I'm not giving him cred. I know people, will you give him credit? But I've seen Suge do some things that other people, I'd be like, why you do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's that all about? You know what I'm saying? So I have seen Suge. I mean, I know people talking, oh, Suge got beat up here. He was at the barbershop and homeboy knocked him out and stuff like that. But then I've seen Suge where Suge, you know, there was gunfire and Suge shooting back at people. You know, and I'm like, what? I'm like, you worth all this money. Why are you, you know, to me, if you shooting at somebody, someone's shooting at you, you could possibly die.
So don't even take that chance.
Don't even take the chance.
Being a millionaire.
I will tell you this much. One time we was at this, so Prince used to have this club, and it was called, oh God, it was, what was it called? It was in L.A. Give me some names. It was named after either one of his songs.
Prince?
Prince owned the club in L.A.
What was it called?
Oh God. Oh man, I'm getting old. I can't think of the name.
Dub? No.
No. It wasn't Purple Rain. It was
Raspberry Beret.
No. I can't think of the name. But Prince had a club. Used to be packed. It's still there today, but it's not Prince's club anymore. Packed. Used to be packed. That was the club to go to. But he owned it. And I remember we went and did a show. And Suge was with us.
Oh, he's with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Suge was with us, so we had the show. And everybody's trying to get hyped up. What you gonna do out there? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? So we used to come out with the Jason mask and machetes and bats and stuff, and I'm Deuce the shooter. So what I come out with?
Dang.
A 22.
Yeah.
A gun.
Deuce.
So when it got time for this one song I do what I gotta do, I say tick, tock, my time is moving slow, 15 to life on lockdown, cause he wouldn't give up the load. Jacking cars so I can, something like that, I forget the rest of the lyrics. But in the middle of it, I went tick, and I pointed the gun out to the audience. The people are, they started just, he got a gun. And I don't know what made me do it, but I just tick, tock, my time is moving slow, 15 to life on lockdown, because he wouldn't give up the load. And I remember Suge comes back to me, and he was like, man, that was it. That was the bomb. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking to myself, I could have shot somebody. And these fools, and because my name was Deuce, a lot of people thought that I was, remember not Straight Outta Compton, but I remember.
Boys in the Hood.
No, was it Boys in the Hood?
I got a Deuce, my brother gave it to me.
No, remember the one that Tyrone was in. Is that it? And remember the gang was Deuce.
Deuce here. No, that's the J-Rock, South Central.
Yeah, South Central.
Yeah.
Remember the gang was called Deuce.
Yeah.
My nickname was Deuce. Remember?
So they really love that.
So they thought that I was in charge of Deuce. I ain't never been a Deuce. I mean, that's one of the reasons why my name was just Deuce.
Wow.
Because I didn't want people to think, people started saying, hey man, where's your tattoo? I mean, where's your teardrop?
Teardrop. Deuce here.
I'm Deuce. And then I had actually people that would come up to me while I was on the road. I'm Deuce. And I'd be like, I'm not Deuce. I'm not. Like, what's
they thought he was Deuce.
They thought I was in charge of Deuce. And they would tell me they were part of Deuce. And I'd be like, they ain't no Deuce. Like, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? There ain't no Deuce. That was just in the movie. They made that name up, Deuce.
Wow, man.
There ain't no Deuce. You never heard of no Deuce ever, have you? You never heard of, because there ain't no Deuce.
When you
he made that up for the movie. And then what would get me, but that same night, because we're a gangster group, we got Bloods and we got Crips. They all in one room. You know what happened, right?
What?
Somebody put out a fire.
Because you started it. You started it off.
Everybody starts running for the dough. Dudes is running over girls. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get out. They running over women and everything. We go out to, they get us, they escort us out. We get to the limo. Somebody starts shooting. I look outside, the door's open. I see this big figure.
Sure.
It should. And I remember, and my boys in my group would tell you, I said, and no offense, Suge, but I said, y'all want to see a $20 million idiot? I opened the door.
Wow.
Because he was, at the time, he was only worth like $20 million back then. That was in the 90s. But that's still for us.
That's a lot of money.
That was a lot of money. But I was just thinking to myself, I was like, why is he up there shooting at people and he worked all that money? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I was thinking, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be the first one out. Because I want to be able to, you know, spend my money and have my fun and do what I got to do.
I want to just ask you about him doing that new podcast that he's doing with Dave Mays. Like, he basically has a relationship with Cat Williams because he ended up bringing him on the show right after the Shannon Sharp interview that went crazy, the most viral interview ever on YouTube right now, ever to be on YouTube, passed up Joe Rogan, which was #1 for a long time. What do you think about him doing the podcast? Does it bring any validity to anything that's going on out here in the, you know what I mean? And is it something that you feel is good for him?
I got mixed emotions on that because Suge knows a lot. He knows a lot. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, Suge got a lot of info on a lot of people. And sometimes I just think that we just need to let sleeping dogs lie. You know what I'm saying? And I know people doing it for the clout and for making money and stuff, but, you know, I just think sometimes we just need to just not do it. You know, just leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Just let it lie. I mean, one thing I love about them old school people from Louisiana and, you know, my family, and they ain't tell you, they ain't say nothing. They ain't talk about nothing. They kept their lips quiet. You didn't find out till 2 generations that your grandma and your grandpa were cousins, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm just joking. But you know what I'm saying? But you know, you just, you know, like, you know, it's like, you know, you find out, oh, that wasn't so-and-so, baby. That really was, you know what I'm saying? That was my sister. My sister was my mama. You know what I'm saying? Or something like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my grandma raised me, but my sister was really my mama, you know, stuff like that. So.
It's called double kin.
Yeah, but no, what I'm saying, but they kept their mouths quiet.
Right.
You know, you used to get that talk, we'll go on in this house, stay in this house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You keep your stuff here. You don't go out there telling our business what's going on. And that's what used to happen. But now everyone just wants to. So, you know, and I understand he's probably frustrated in there. You know, he's so used to having freedom. Do what he want to do. You know, he almost got locked up all them times and he got free. I'm pretty sure he just knew he was going to get out this time.
Yeah.
You know, so with him doing that, with Cat Williams, I'm going to tell you, and I hope Cat gets to see this, I admire and love Cat Williams.
Even after he dissed all those people?
Let me tell you, Cat's always been real. Always been a real person.
So you think everybody that he talked about deserved it?
I remember when Cat.
I'm asking you a question.
What? Well, you got to. This is what people forget. Cat didn't go on and tell Shannon, "Put me on your show." Cat went on the show because people were talking about him, and he was just defending himself. People don't realize that. We keep forgetting that. He went on there because people were saying stuff about him, so he wanted to make it right. He wanted to come on and be like, since you want to tell my narrative, let me set this record straight.
Wow.
That's what Cat was doing. And the reason why I have respect for Cat, I know Cat gonna get mad for me saying this, but Cat's helped my family out personally.
Oh.
Personally. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't have to. But they looked out for him, and he looked out for them. And he looked out for them when they needed him most.
Wow.
And there's a lot of entertainers that, I ain't gonna lie, y'all know, a lot of entertainers that slept on my couch. I have people that I've actually helped slept on my couch. Help, food, everything. My boys would tell you, I've done that for a lot of people in the industry. And not even in this industry, but I've done it for people. And I didn't do it for clout chasing. I didn't do it because I felt like you and my homie, we in the same industry. We have to look out for each other. Did many of them do the same for me? No. A lot of them didn't. A lot of them didn't even say, hey, Deuce, I'm with this record company now. I'm doing, hey, let me get you on here. There have been some people that have. You know, but majority of them that I've helped, they didn't come back and say, hey, let me pull you up. I have people that I helped that didn't even go, hey, Deuce, I know I didn't pay you no rent. Well, I live with you for 4 or 5 months, but, you know, hey, let me just give you something just to just to what you call it. You know what I'm saying? I got a brother. One thing I got a partner. I'm gonna shout him out. His name is Voice Rogers. Voice was with the Hammer Camp. You know, he sang. He was with the Homeboy Choir. He did all that stuff, and he's like my brother. And what happened is, you know, when Voice needed something, I was there for him.
Hold on one second.
Voice Rogers was there.
About Cat, right?
Yeah. No. This is Voice. He takes me one day. He takes me out to eat. Get whatever you want. I said, oh no, I said, I'm only gonna get. It's on me. And I'm not used to that.
Oh,
Okay. I was buying some stuff. I got that. No, Voice. No, I'm cool. No, I got it. And it was hard for me to accept it. And he came to me and he said, I want you to take this. And I want you, went and took my mom. My mom was like a mom to him too. He went and took my mother out to eat and, you know what I'm saying, and just you know what I'm saying, and bought, you know, and I was like, why are you doing that? And I had forgot. He said, because when I was down, you was there for me. So why wouldn't I come back and be there for you?
wow. And I agree.
And do that. And it just,
So Cat did that too. That's what you were saying.
that's what I'm saying. So you don't find many brothers like that. That actually, like, those people are real. They have comedians that weren't
listen.
making a lot of money, and they're all right. A girl walks up and just gives you a bill, gives you an envelope with money in it.
Boosie
does
said that when he came home, Cat Williams came and gave him $15,000.
But I'm saying, but who does that? And he does not like. Let me tell you, I was there at the Star with him when they gave the Star to Melba Moore. I was there.
Wow.
I'm the one that gave her that big roses, and I came. And when I seen him, you know, I didn't want to walk up on him and be like, hey, Cat Williams, you know, because you know he has boundaries. You know, he's, you know, very smart guy, very smart. You know what I'm saying? And so I seen him and I just was like, hey, what's up? And he was so, you could tell that he really didn't want all that attention on him. They did that, you know, giving her the Star. I knew Melba Moore. Her and my grandma were in Pearly together. You know what I'm saying? She's like an auntie, love her. She's a legend. She deserved to start way years ago. And we were trying to raise money, but he just came in and just was like, and at first I said, well, I didn't know that Cat knew Melba. He didn't know Melba. No, he heard about it. He knew who she was. He was like, this woman's, she's been in this industry all this time. She deserves her flowers. And he just said, here you go. All those other people that talked about Cat, I ain't really, unless they're getting kickbacks or they're getting some tax write-offs, I mean, he doesn't even talk about what he does. But all them other people that were talking about Cat, they always talk about what they do. It's what I did in the community. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Cat just does it and walks away. Who does that? People don't do that anymore.
Wow.
Everybody always wants to get recognition for what they do.
We got to buy him something else. We'll get something.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then when my family had a little tragedy and he came there and stuff like that, I mean, he didn't have to.
Wow.
He could have just, he could have just stepped away.
No
That's
You know, I have so much respect for him. You know, just to do something like that. You have so many entertainers that could do, that don't. So I don't know why they get mad at him for telling his truth. I'll be honest with you. I felt,
My camera's off, so I can't
between
tell.
me and you, I felt like he was telling my story. I have a comedian friend who you know, it's like, you know, I call him a boo thing. Her name is Hope Flood, and she's she ain't my boo, but you know what I'm saying, if I had a boo, that would have been her. You know what I'm saying? I love her to death, and we argue like we are married sometimes, but she's helped me in my career so much. You know, I did the J. Anthony Brown. You know, I had that room due to her, and when I first heard it, I thought about her. And I called her and I said, what do you think about this? And she said, I felt like he was speaking for me as well. Mm-hmm. And I really felt like he was speaking about her and me. You know what I'm saying? Because she's helped so many people. And, you know, it's time for her to get her flowers as well.
Right.
And
I got a question. So you've done a lot of interviews, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there one question that you wish that an interviewer would ask that one have not asked yet?
One thing that I wish someone would have said to me.
Would have asked you.
Oh man, you're gonna get me all teary-eyed now.
Go ahead.
How did you survive this? How did you survive all these years going through the things that you've been through? The ups, the downs.
And nobody's asked you that before?
No one's ever asked me really like, Lamarr. Because everybody sees me as success. They don't see that it's not success, it's just me working. You know what I'm saying? And when I get people that hate on what I do, I don't understand it because I'm working hard. I ain't got a lot of money. When I get up on stage, you think I do because I give you 110%. But that's just my upbringing.
So how have you survived it?
God, one day at a time. I feel like I still to this day feel like when I signed my contract with Hammer, I always remember I went home. And I remember my mother told me this. She said, and I told you guys this before on the show, if your spirit does not feel right signing that contract,
then don't do it. Mm-hmm.
Don't do it. My spirit didn't feel right.
But you still did it.
But I did it because I wanted to please my boys that I was with. Because they were like, man, we've been trying to do this for 7 years. And this is an opportunity. Come on, let's do it. And I went against it. I went against that. So I tell people, when a little voice speaks to you, listen to it. And I didn't. I get home, I open up the door. My mother looks at my face. My mother said, well, how'd it go? And for some reason, before I could say anything, my mother knew I had already signed it and said, you signed, didn't you? And the first thing she said was, let's pray. That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That's very powerful.
To have her, my grandma, we all prayed. We prayed over it.
That covering helped.
And I feel like to this day, that covering helped
mm-hmm.
and helped me manage. You know, I got 2 boys in prison. I could have been there. You know, I got another boy that's why I want to do this. That's why I want to do my unsung. I got another boy that don't ever want to do music ever again in life because he feels that the powers that be, Hammer and the record company, that they just threw us away as trash. I got one member that don't even want people to know he was a part of the group.
I hear about people who, you know, as kids, you grow up and, oh my God, you want to be a celebrity. You see the limelight, you see the flashy cars, you see all of that. And you want that. And because you're like, oh, this is going to be easy because I'm going to do something that I love doing, which is singing or rapping. And everything else is just a blessing because I can take my mom out of the hood, my daddy out of all this stuff. And it just look sparkly. And then once they get into it, and these are big entertainers, when they get into it, I don't want to do this no more. Because of all of the politics, all of the things that you might have to do, all of the things that goes on in all these different rooms, is not just what you see on the outside. There's a lot that goes on the inside that a lot of people don't know.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I'm be real with you. I was blackballed for a while. I was blackballed. I was blackballed because of what I said, certain things about what's going on in the business. And then I was also blackballed. I ain't gonna lie. I've had it happen to me where I had and like I had to tell somebody. You know, I had rumors on me, all kind of stuff that I did when I was growing up. Which, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I did a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? But I actually had a boss from a record company that called me in the middle of the night and told me to come over to talk business. And I ain't gonna lie, my uncle said, "Don't you go without me." And I went without him because I thought my uncle was trying to. I ain't gonna lie, at the time I thought, no, you just don't want me to, you just trying to
hold me back.
Mm-hmm. No, he wasn't telling me, he didn't really want to come out and say, hey, this dude after you.
So you weren't like Columbus Short who asked him, who else is over there? Are you by yourself?
No. I mean, no, I kind of knew that, you know, like, but I didn't think it was gonna get to what it was. Mm-hmm. And I thought he really wanted to talk business. So he had money, he lived off of Mulholland. Went up there.
What happened?
He came in the road with nothing on underneath.
What did you do?
I said, hey, what's up? And I said, hey, dude. I said, if I wanted, it wouldn't be with you.
That's what you told him.
And I said, and he told me, well, you're getting older, and you'll never make a record ever again. You'll never make another record.
And he stuck to his word.
But let me tell you, this is what I told him. You can't say that. Only he can tell me that. If he tells me I ain't make another record, I get that. I walked out. Now, for some reason, my grandmother was in the industry. My grandmother knew this man. Somehow my grandmother found, I don't know how she found out, somehow my grandma found out about it. And my grandma sat me to the side and she said, baby, you got talent, God-given talent. I never want to hear that you slept on the couch, you get on the couch to get a deal. No. I'll never want to hear that. And I told her, you ain't never going to hear it. You won't hear that. I said, don't worry, Grandma. She said, I'm very proud of you.
So she didn't call him and say nothing to this?
Well, honestly, she was on his record label. She was on his record label.
So she couldn't say nothing.
I mean, but she knew. She knew. But what got me was when she told me that. Mm-hmm. You know, she let me know you have talent.
Right.
You can make it on your own. God got you. You know, if anybody else.
Wow.
You know, because I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of us that could have just we could. There's some, you know, I'm not telling people's business, but there's some big, powerful people that, you know, I don't even think they want to do the things that they do.
But they
just want to do it because they got the power to do it. You know what I'm saying? They can make you, you know.
But the thing is that I be wondering,
and the thing
and
is,
I
the sad
said,
part, there's people that actually would do it just so that they can be famous.
But what I wondered too, because I even said it to him before, because even like the P. Diddy stuff and all that stuff that's going on, but what happened to him? Did somebody do that to him?
And maybe someone did.
You understand? For him to get into the power that
he had to learn.
Right.
So that's what I was saying. Like going to the Playboy Mansion. You learn things. People whisper in your ear. Mm-hmm. Hey, we got this other party over here. Hey, I heard you into this. Hey. Now I call that Satan. Hey, guess what? We over here doing this and that. You want to come over here? Oh, we like you. You want to come over here? Oh, we got this party. We do this and that. You know what I'm saying? And then you start thinking, well, I'm with the upper class. I'm with the, you know, upper echelon. I'm in that crowd. And that's what happened with Cosby, I feel. You think Cosby, who taught Cosby to put Quaalude in? Come on. Cosby didn't come from no.
People around him, he saw
grew up
some
in
stuff.
Philadelphia talking about, hey, man, when I grow up, I'm going to put Quaaludes in. That's how I'm going to get chicks. No. Somebody, not of our color, say, hey, man, guess what? This is what we do. Mm-hmm. We do this. And
I got to ask you, would you say that MC Hammer was more gangster than Suge Knight and Eaze-E?
I'm going to say they're all three
on the same level.
On the same level.
So
they're all, think about it.
Because you don't take MC Hammer like that.
But think about it, they all bosses. They're all bosses. The one thing about Ham didn't play. That's one thing I have to say. The reason, this is what I do have to give him. People trip when they work with me, especially like if they work in DRS in my group. They wonder, why are you so rigid? Why are you so by the book? Be here on time. That's one thing he taught me. Hammer taught me to be on time because he'd fine you if you weren't on time. If you weren't on time, you didn't want to get fined. You didn't work hard, you know what I'm saying? You wanted to be able to eat. So you were there on time. He taught me, there's a lot of things he taught me about the business, about what to do, how to conduct yourself. Capital they don't do this anymore, but I actually had to go to class to learn how to interview. What to say, what not to say. Capitol Records did that with us. You know, we went to classes to learn how to eat, right? What proper fork.
But when you think
go places.
You think about Hammer, you don't think of him like, I never thought of him that way when I 3-5 something. No, I thought he was just dancing.
Well, he was dancing because that's what he liked to do, and he was entertaining the crowd. But when it came to himself, you know what I'm saying?
Where was he from?
Oakland, High Street boy. High Street. He was from Oakland, California.
And so when he came to...
So you have to understand, Oakland was pimps, players.
I know.
Pushers, all of that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We grew up... See, I'm from the Bay as well. I'm from a little town called East Palo Alto, which was even worse. You know, it was a very productive black community until crack got in it. And Oakland was productive until crack got in it too.
So when you see MC Hammer, Suge Knight, Eaze-E,
they all were bosses in their own right. They all controlled things in their own right. You know what I'm saying? They all did. They all commanded respect as well. And you think about it, if it wasn't for all them, there wouldn't be any of us. Think about it. A lot of us are on because of Eaze-E, Suge Knight, Hammer. No matter what the tactics in the business was, I'm one of the products.
Redman tells a story that MC Hammer pushed up on him. He tells that story, and that ain't the only person that says stuff like that. But,
yeah, Hammer, yeah, he was. I mean, Hammer. He was a very reactive person. You know, very.
He demanded respect.
He demanded respect. And I heard he just did an interview where he said, the reason why he wasn't doing the 50th anniversary, and I kind of understand why he said that.
Why did he say he wasn't doing it?
Well, he was just saying that, those people that want him to do, those were the people that were taunting and teasing and talking about him. Now they want him to be a part of them making money and doing this and that. So I understand what he's going through. So now you want to be my friend. Now you want to make money with me. But back then when I was trying to help you make money, you teased me, you talked about me, but now you're doing the same thing I did back in the day.
Do you think they took MC Hammer serious the way he was dancing in those big pants?
Somebody did. He made all that money. Somebody took him serious. The parents, the kids, think about it. I have friends to this day that just trip out. Oh my God, you knew MC Hammer. Oh my God, you was in the house. You was on Pumps and the Bumps. It's all good. You was, oh my God, what was it like? I have friends that, I ain't gonna lie.
You was in Pumps and the Bumps?
Yeah. That's me. Pumps and the Bumps. Hey, we like the girls with the pumps. I'm in the background. And all that. Yeah. That's me. I'm in the video and everything.
I didn't even know.
I'm in the video. It's all good. It's all doom, doom, doom. Yeah, I was part of the camp.
Right there with him.
Yeah, I was in he needed backgrounds. He's like, Deuce, get in there. I'm on that song. Don't fight the feeling. Don't fight the feeling. That's me singing that. On the Hammers, Don't Fight the Feeling.
Yeah.
That's me and my boys in DRS. That's us singing.
Wow.
Take it to the whole Hammer. That's us.
And you was that whole, man, that's a lot.
Yeah, we were there the whole time. It's all doom, 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 doom. That's my cousins, the Car Club, and then, the Hispanics. That's the same people that was in Gangsta Lean. They in that one too.
Wow,
we had to redo Pumps and the Bumps.
Why?
Because remember he had the shorts on. He had the little bikini on, so they made us redo it.
Man, who was the competition that was dancing back then that was doing the kind of the same?
White boy, remember Vanilla Ice?
Yeah, he was the competition.
Well, it was Vanilla. It was Michael. It was him, Michael with Vanilla. Who else danced? Who else danced though? I can't think of anybody that danced. It
was definitely Vanilla Ice, and it definitely was Michael. Michael was every era
But you gotta realize, think about this. Hammer, I still got Hammer had a doll. Remember the Hammer doll? Remember in the shoes were talk Stanley. He had a cartoon.
Damn it.
He had he had Hammer Time toothpaste. You remember that? He had a game. I still got it called Hammer Time.
Wow.
A board game. He had a board game
called Hammer Time.
Yeah. And now and they were all on him for getting endorsements. But guess what? That's the only way a rapper now. That's the only way you make money now. By endorsements hardly. You don't see a whole bunch of rap concerts no more. And these streams show ain't paying us nothing.
Do you think that he was well? I wanted to ask you about and I know you when you first.
And speaking of streams, I got 2-3 new songs out.
I'm about to talk about that. Don't try to go fast. I'm gonna cut that out. Yeah. You trying to take over my interview. Michelle A. That's what I wanted to ask you about.
Oh, Michelle A.
When you first seen her,
she's coming. She'll be out here in a couple of weeks. She'll be out in April.
I wish I could get on here.
No. She's doing the show. I know you know what? I know the people that are doing the show with her. I'll tell them.
I want to ask you this: when you heard her talk versus hearing her sing, how was that when you first? I want to hear the story when you first seen her talk.
Well, I knew her manager. I knew her manager, Donald Bruner.
I don't care nothing about that. Oh, R.I.P. to him. But I'm saying I want to hear your first experience when you first discovered that this girl with this sound sings like that.
I ain't gonna lie. The first time I heard her, I thought it was a joke. I thought she was just putting it on. You know, I thought she was just trying to be sexy. You know, like, I said, oh, that's kind of neat. She's doing baby talk. But after a while, I realized, like, oh, this is her real voice. But you know what? I realized that makes sense because a lot of us, like us tenors and baritons, we talk like I do. You know, we talk like we're about to lose our voice. And then people go, I can't believe you can sing like that. So, so, but yeah, she's yeah, you know what, and not defending her, but I was so mad when people got mad when they said she was drunk on stage and tripping. She just found out her manager, almost like her brother, had just died. You know, and to, you know what I'm saying, they were very close. And then for her to hear this and then to get on stage, you know.
Do you think, like, when you think about, did you ever meet Tupac?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Let's talk about that. What was it like meeting Tupac, knowing Tupac?
Tupac, very complicated person, very complicated.
Everybody tells a different story about Tupac.
Well, you know what? One day, I got to get Money B on here so he can...
Shout out to Money B. I done talked to you several times. You supposed to have been on Boss Talk 101, but I'll see you when I see you. I'm coming for you.
That's my homie.
Let's go. So
Money used to be my manager for a minute.
Really?
Yeah, we did a song together. I think they still owe us money for that. We did a song called, what is that song? Ooh, na 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 na. We did that before. We actually did that before a rap with that. Oh, dun dun dun. We did. It was ooh na 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 na. Make it say ooh na 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 na. We did that. We did that with Raphael.
No, y'all didn't.
Dwayne Wiggins.
Master P did that.
We did it before Master P.
No.
I'll show it to you on YouTube.
So you think Master P heard it or no?
Well, I mean, it's from an old school song, so anybody could have heard that song. But
so he basically.
We did. It was, and it's on a thing called Oakland Soul Compilation, and we did it. Me and Money B did it. Ooh, it was before Master P did it.
No way.
I'm serious. But
Master P did it better. It hit harder.
Well, apparently it did it better. He sold more records than we did. Apparently, of course, it did it better.
So, what made you guys do that song? Just the older song that you guys?
Yeah, I mean,
did y'all get it cleared?
I mean, we were working with Dwayne Wiggins. It was on his label.
Oh, okay.
So Mun was like, Deuce, this is what I want you to do. So I was like, okay, cool.
So that was early on.
Mm-hmm. That was early on. That was like 95.
So you met the early Tupac.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so my cousin, the one that Gangsterline sung about, him and Tupac, they grew up together. They were close friends. And so his name was Amir Wakili Joseph. And Amir knew Tupac. And they were good friends. And Amir lived in Berkeley. And actually, when you see I Get Around, the video, that's my cousin jumping around with Tupac.
With Tupac.
That's him. And I got to meet him, through my cousin. And then through, of course, Mun and stuff. And then we actually did a little tour with him. Didn't turn out too well, but...
What happened?
Man, so out the group, I'm the one that knew Tupac. Breed, remember MC Breed?
Of course.
So Breed was on this little... Breed wasn't on the tour. But Breed and Tupac, this.
They tough.
So we were in Chicago, and we were going to do a show in North Bend, Indiana. Now, to get to North Bend from Chicago, you got to take this little plane, little propeller plane. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we were carrying a DAT machine with us. But the DAT machine was too heavy. So they're like, well, it's either y'all or the DAT machine. So it delayed us from getting over there. So the promoter thought we weren't coming. Well, we told him, hey, we're coming. We just got to get this flight together. So when we got there, Breed was in our dressing room. And we was like, what's going on? So the promoter said, well, Pac said y'all wasn't getting paid because y'all didn't show up. And we was like, but we told you we was on our way. So we was like, I ain't gonna lie, we kind of got gangster on the promoter. And we was like, no, dude, you're gonna give us our money. Because Ham is like, no, you get. Tell you, Ham was like, go get that money. So we went in.
He was there?
No, Ham on the phone.
On the phone.
Y'all called, he said, get the money.
Our manager was with us. He was like, no. So we went to the homeboy and was like, no, dude, you're gonna give us some money. So he paid us some money. And we said, well, you're gonna get him out the dressing room. So they go in there and they tell Bree, you gotta leave. This is DRS dressing room. So we go in there.
So you saying y'all put Breed out that dressing room?
Well, it was our dressing room.
It don't matter. Y'all put him out.
Well, whatever. But anyway, so you start. But let me tell you what happened.
R.I.P. to Breed.
Now-
I was a big
now,
fan.
let me tell you what
Ain't
happened.
no future in your front.
Let me tell you what happened. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, Pac's dressing room is on the next side. The next thing you know, we hear this. Who the fuck? And somebody threw a chair. Like you could hear the chair hit the wall, and somebody's cussing. So my boy in my group says, "Ain't that your homie?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "Well, is he tripping?" And I said, "No." They said, "Well, go check that out." So I said, "Okay, well, here, just let me go," because I knew how Pac was. So I go to the door. His bodyguard opens the door. What? Hey, tell Pac it's Deuce from DRS. Tell him it's Lamar. Is he okay? He okay in there? So he said, hold on. He closed the door. Why he closed the door? My boys come out. What's up? Is he cool? I said, hey, go back inside. So listen, look at this. All of a sudden, Pac opens the door, and there's 4 other dudes behind me, and I'm standing there. What you think he thought?
That y'all finna come squabble.
Pac got mad at me. Oh, Deuce, I know you didn't bring him up here like this. I said, and so I'm going, no, Pac, I swear I was by myself when I came to the door. They just happened to come out. So he slammed the door on me. I go back to my side. We do the show. Good show. We was going back to the hotel. I seen Pac. Now, at this point, I had been talking to Pac all the time. Now, I'll be honest with you, he didn't really care for some of the guys in my group. I'll be real with you. But, we from the town. God is my witness. Pac gets on the elevator. My boy EJ, if he ever comes back out, will tell you. We're on the elevator. Pac is in the middle. His bodyguards are surrounding him. And we're on the side of the elevator, and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And he went like this to me. I said, it was a good show tonight, huh? Pac said nothing to me. He said nothing to me. And I'm like, Pac, I know you ain't mad. And so I'm dumb, should just left it alone. I'm trying to explain myself. Pac, I'm like, EJ, tell him, what happened? Da-da-da-da. He went to his floor, got off, went to his room. Next show, he don't speak to nobody. Third show, we got kicked off. God. So Mun, they were doing that. I Get Around when I'm down with the underground, and I remember I called Mun. Mun was in L.A. because they did it in L.A. in the Valley area. And I remember I called Mun. Mun said, "What are y'all doing?" He was like, "Oh, we're doing a video with Pac." And I said, "Well, Pac don't like me no more." And he was like, "Oh, Deuce, it ain't true." And then I remember he asked him, and Pac was like, "Don't come on." And I was so like, "Okay." Okay, here I go. And it was just like nothing had happened.
Like nothing happened.
So you went to that shoot, to the video?
Yeah, I didn't get in it, but I ran over there. But the thing was that
did you get to see him or talk?
Yeah,
to him?
I mean, I spoke to him, but it was like, I ain't gonna lie, Pac was a little, he could, I remember this argument. If Pac didn't believe it, you could not talk him into it.
Whoa.
I remember this when we were young. I remember, I don't know if Mun was around. I know maybe, I think my boy L was around, L-Rock, I think. I found out that the sky is not blue. You know about that?
No.
The sky isn't blue.
What color is it?
I went to school, so the sky is clear. But what happens is when the sun comes out, it does a reflection on the water, and it beams back up.
Wow.
That color. That's why at nighttime, because the sky was blue, think about it, we wouldn't be able to see the stars. Because it's clear. That's why at nighttime, we can see all the stars. At daytime, you don't see none of it. Because it's that reflection of the blue water that beams back up that makes it look like it's blue.
Boss Talk just learned something today. I did not know it.
Then what happened on cloudy days?
You notice there are clouds. You see clouds, then you'll see in between the clouds But the clouds block out everything. Think about it.
But if the cloud block out, I'm talking like if the reflection was coming back up, wouldn't the clouds be blue?
No, because the clouds, the reflection is not coming down from those clouds.
Because it blocks the
It's a blocker.
sun.
It's covering. So then when the clouds move, the sun shines down. So that's what it is. And I tried to tell Pac that one time. I don't know why I did. I'm telling you, I'm kind of crazy too.
And what did he say? He did not believe you.
He told me, "You believe everything the way."
Exactly. Exactly.
But my thing was, but it was true. I looked it up, and it's true. It is that sun beams down. Look it up, Google it. That's it. And that's what happens.
Who run Google?
But let me tell you that.
Who run Google?
But no, but I mean,
The same people that told you that the world was flat at first.
I know it ain't flat. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is that, but it was just like so, and I remember, just like I tried to do in the elevator. We were younger then. I tried to talk him into that. No, you gotta believe me. This is what. But one thing I always say to people, if Pac, that's why if Pac believes you did something to him, you could not tell Pac you didn't do that.
So you think that had a play in the Biggie thing when he thought Biggie and them had something to do again?
Yeah, when I heard about it and when they were telling me,
you knew.
I said, well, you know what? There's no one that's going to, if he believes that he did it, there's nobody that's going to be able to talk him out and say, no, he didn't do it, even if they had proof. I believe if he believed it, that was it.
He must have one person that he listens to. Maybe his mama. Yeah.
But other than that, I think of Feeney, but other than that, but honestly, you know who else I think he would listen to? Mun and probably Shock. God rest both Shock and Pac.
Wow.
Mun is still here.
I want to ask you about the day when you heard that Pac had got killed in Las Vegas.
Man.
What was that like for you, being that you was closely connected to him?
Well, I didn't believe it at first. And, because you know he didn't die that night.
No, he didn't.
A lot of people don't know that. And I actually called Money B. I called Money. And I asked him, did he really die? And Money let me know. You know what I'm saying? So when people tell me, he's in Africa, Mun wouldn't lie to me.
Yeah.
Mun went to the real funeral. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a funeral, but everyone wasn't invited.
Wow. And so you had to hear from Money B in order to know.
Well, because I was thinking like, can this really be? He's gone. You know what I'm saying? And he was.
Well, and I said that to say this. Could you believe that over 27 years later that someone's arrested and convicted? Well, now not convicted, but arrested.
I don't think he did
Allegedly, it. He says it. He says he wrote a book about it.
I think he did that for clout. I think the guy who did kill him is dead now.
Of course, that's his nephew.
The real person, but I don't think he had. I don't think he shot. I don't think he pulled the trigger. I don't think he did any of that. I don't think he did.
What did you think when you seen him get arrested?
I think they have a shot. I don't think they have a good case.
So you think that won't hold?
I don't think so. Personally, I don't think it will hold. Because I don't think he did it. I mean, he's been taught. Why would you talk all these years that you did it? Why would you? That's what I'm saying.
They say he had a terminal illness, and that's when he went and just spilled his beans.
I think he just wanted some fame before he left this earth. I think he wanted to be known for something.
And so that's what he decided to go with.
I think so. I just some of it don't add up. I mean, maybe he did, but but. And I don't think Pac was the intended. I personally feel that whoever did that shooting, I don't really feel Pac was the intended person.
Wasn't nobody else in the car but Suge. Because you've been around and that's how he.
I mean, people don't forget, Suge has survived 5 different assassination attempts? Think about 5?
It's been a lot.
Yeah, people have tried to kill Suge, and most people don't die, but the next person to them ain't. I just feel like maybe it wasn't Pac. I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you because I can't say, I was there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I mean, in my feeling, my gut, I just feel like, it was something more to it.
Wow.
It just it shouldn't have happened. It was sad that it
Unfortunate,
happened.
huh?
It was unfortunate, but you know what the trippy part I feel? Do you ever feel that you think Pac knew he wasn't going to be here long?
The way he was working?
Do you feel that? I kind of feel that maybe Pac knew in his spirit that he wouldn't be here long and that he had to get everything out that he could. You know what I'm saying?
I can tell you a story about my my first cousin. He was coming to Dallas, 16, 17, R.I.P. to Kevin, and he kept telling me, I'm going to get this girl pregnant. And I was like, man, you 16, 17 years old, you shouldn't be thinking about no pregnancy. He was like, remember? I was like, I'm going to get this girl pregnant.
But
She want a baby. She want a baby. I'm like, nigga, you crazy. He laughing and giggling and playing and driving up here 2 hours to see her.
But I don't think he knew, though.
He didn't know, but he got that baby. But right after that, at 17, he ends up
In a bad
wreck and being brain dead for almost 6-7 years.
In a nursing home.
But it
Couldn't
was
do nothing.
crazy to me to be that young trying to talk about having a child.
And maybe something in his spirit. Was like,
Do you see what I'm saying?
yeah, I just feel sometimes, that people feel in their spirit that
Nobody
maybe-
talks about having no child. Not no boy for sure.
But he felt he needed to leave a legacy to his family.
But he didn't know he was going to pass.
But something in his spirit told him, I need to leave a legacy.
Our life is predestined. Everything is written already.
So now his son is 16. Same
Wow.
age as our son.
Wow.
So that happened 16 years ago.
Well, I just kind of, feel like he just, and people don't realize it, but to me, he's kind of the Malcolm X or the Martin Luther King of our time. Mm-hmm. He was kind of a martyr. He was a martyr of our time. You know what I'm saying? We needed him. We still need him.
Wow.
He was deep.
He was.
I tell people this. When you're raised with Panther parents, people that, because my mother was part. My mother worked at this place called Nairobi College. You guys look that up. Nairobi College was Angela Davis and Kwame Ture were the ones that started the college. And it was for African and African Americans. And it was a charter from, I forgot what college that's in the Bay Area. But it was mainly, and my mom worked there. My mother had an afro. I did Kwanzaa, like I grew up in Kwanzaa. Like, you know what I'm saying? We grew up Christmas, but Kwanzaa, you know how everyone now is like, oh, Kwanzaa. We did that when I was 3-4 years old. And it didn't come from people, it ain't from Africa. It came from Long Beach, California. You know what I'm saying? Karanga, he was a professor in Long Beach. He's the one that did that.
Created Kwanzaa.
And because because they didn't take it so much in Southern California, he brought it to Oakland and East Palo Alto into the Bay Area.
Wow.
And so and with him being raised by a Feeney the way he was, he learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? And he learned about his ancestors, what we go through, how we needed to be self-sufficient. And I think sometimes we don't listen to his messages. We look at the gangster part of him, but we don't really listen to some of the messages that he really talked about. If you listen, his messages sometimes also are about we need to empower ourselves. We need to be the bosses. We need to be owners. They need to be the workers. We need to be the owners. That's what he really was really passionate about. You know what I'm saying? Taking control of your own destiny.
He had a song that said, what was that song? He said, how many brothers fell victim to the streets? Rest in peace, young nigga. There's a heaven for a G. I'd be a lie if I told you that I never thought of death. My nigga, we the last one left. But life goes on.
Mm-hmm.
He had some different messages. Only God can judge me now.
Well, and then you got to think about it. Like I was telling you, we deserve reparations. I mean, think about it. We've been shell-shocked our whole lives. Come on. As kids. I remember the first time I was riding a bike in Menlo Park, California, which is kind of a rich neighborhood. I came from the other side, East Palo Alto, in Menlo Park, East Menlo. Riding my bike. I'm 13 years old. I'm about the same size I am now.
Wow.
Riding my bike, going to an acting class or something. I was acting then. Going to this acting class. Police pull up on me. hold me down. What's up? Well, there was a burglary in the neighborhood. I fit the description.
How about that?
Call my mama. Don't call my mama. They called my mama. Mama came down there. My mama.
What did she say?
My mama, a black mama. What are the charges? What? Let me see. Let me listen to. My mother wanted to listen to the radio. Let me see what the APB was. It was for a white man, a grown white man.
But she's lucky that they allowed her to listen. They could have said, "I ain't got to show you nothing. Meet us down the station."
You know what I'm saying? But that's my mama. You ain't met Shirley Shepard. My mama. Yeah, my mama don't play. My mama. Right now, I really was blessed. My mother is one of those people that, when we were growing up, my mother took me to different. Like, she was like, I want to teach you about your black history and your culture, but I want you to learn about other cultures as well. Mm-hmm. So we went to, like, young people, we went to Jamaican festivals. We went to Korean festivals. We went to, Chinese New Year. Anything that, my mother wanted me to learn all different cultures. You know what I'm saying? Because they encompass one.
Right.
And she would do that. My mother was always like, go somewhere. They laughed at my mom because my mom, she told her, she had a little trip for her girlfriends. They went panhandling for gold.
Wow.
Can you imagine black women out there?
Did they find any?
The lady who, my mom could call me and tell me I was wrong. The lady who was the one that was complaining most is the one that found the gold. And my mom was mad. How she gonna get it? But my mother was like that. Let's go, who thinks of stuff like that? Mm-mm. Let's go, but my grandmother was like that too. Let's go camping. Let's go get fishing poles and let's go fish. Let's go do things. And we don't have that in the black community anymore. Mm-mm. We don't have, that's what we're missing. We need to let these kids know it ain't just about the hood. There's a whole world out. Man, when I was 16, my mother let me go to London, England. She let me go.
With who?
Well, my cousin.
Okay.
We have family members that were over there.
Okay.
And one of my cousins wasn't doing too well at school, so they moved into America to go to school.
Okay.
Because over there, you mess up on a test when you in fourth or fifth grade, you staying in that, you staying in there. Oh, yeah, you from Jamaica?
Yeah,
you're the S, the I system. Y'all have that over there too, don't you? So if you don't pass them tests when you're younger, they kind of categorize you.
But the difference is, what I like over there is that, they might hold you back for that, but if you excel tremendously, they'll let you skip a grade and go to the other grade.
But don't you have to be in that O, S, or I system?
Mm-mm.
Well, my cousin fell back, so we brought him here. Mm-hmm. He graduated at 16, because over there, you guys don't go to 18 like we do. Mm-mm. And so when he was going home, he said, well, you want to come with me? And I was like, yeah, but my mom ain't going to let me go. And she was like, go. And so, so I got to school at 17. So right there, he was 16. Before I went to college, I got to live in London, England from 3-4 months.
Wow. And
it was such an eye-opener for me. Mm-hmm. I think that's the way I am, because when I got there, let me tell you, I got there, and what tripped me out is when I got to Heathrow, I seen all these black people. I'm like, where you
thought it was all white.
Well, I made a joke, said, did I land in Atlanta? Because all these men, mate, can I get your back? Like, what the hell? And you talk like you from England? What the hell's going on? And so when I got there, it really freaked me out there. And I'm like, this is like me in Atlanta. So I went over there, and then when I got to London, and I got to some of the, the boroughs and stuff, I was like, oh my God, they got black people over here. You know what I'm saying? Priory District and all that kind of stuff. And so I remember my cousin Karam, his name's Karam Ali, he does music too now over there. Karam had a friend named Dean. And they took me to this club called Hammersmith Palais. We really couldn't get in. I mean, when you're 16,
didn't have no fake IDs.
Well, when you're 16, you can go places. You can smoke. You can, So we went. And when I got to Hammersmith Palais, you ever heard of this palace? It's called the Palace now, but Palais is near Trafalgar Square.
Okay.
I get in this, and there's a hippodrome. No, did you ever go over there when you were younger? Because of Jamaica. So the hippodrome, You got that. You got the caves. Some other. I'm sitting in Hammersmith Palais. I'm seeing all these black people. I'm like, oh my God! And I tell Dean, over in America we just see white people. When it comes to the only thing we ever saw black people was that comedy show Dexter's or something. Remember the one where the people live in the neighborhood? It was a barbershop. And I said, I can't believe there's this many black people. And you know what Dean said to me? I don't see that many black people. Now Dean, your complexion. So I'm thinking, oh, just because you high yellow, you think you ain't black?
Right.
And he goes, well, I'm not. He said, I'm Jamaican. And I said, well, what's Cuthbert? He said, oh, Cuthbert's Barbadian. I said, well, what's my cousin? Oh, well, your cousin, well, he's you guys, and he's Persian. But he's British. I said, why is he British? Well, he was born in England. And then he said to me, and I said, well, then why am I black? He said, because you're from America. And I said, I don't get what you're saying. And he said, America is the only place that calls themselves colors. And I thought, he goes, you never see an Asian Jamaican saying, I'm Asian Jamaican.
No,
I'm just Jamaican.
Right.
He says, but in America, y'all don't do that. Right. You guys say, I'm a black American. I'm a white American. I'm an Asian American.
Wow.
And it really...
I never thought about it that way because I always tell people, I'm black. And people here will be like, no, you're Jamaican. I said, I'm black.
But you're Jamaican. But over in Jamaica...
Yeah, we don't say
black,
that. No,
you Jamaican. You born here. You're not born here.
Right.
And that's what they were telling me. And when I got back home, I saw America a whole different way.
All right, now he's Malcolm X. Went to another country, come back, he don't think the same. I'm not going to do this with you. No.
But I'm serious.
I get it. I want to ask you about, is it dance floor?
Yeah.
Let's talk about dance floor. First of all, I want you to give me the first verses out of dance floor. How does it start?
One go up, gonna go back, slide to the right now take it back. Now jelly roll, girl, just like that. Now what you're doing is called just like that.
Man.
Yeah.
So this is the new Lamar Luben, the new Deuce. What's up with the Southern Soul? What's up with this Southern Soul movement, man?
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I like it because you know what? Somebody was talking about, oh, you knew? No, I've been singing blues my whole. Southern Soul is blues and country together. I've been singing that my whole life. That's just me. It's a part of me. I like it. I mean, it's not that I'm not doing no R&B as well, but I've been doing a lot of Southern Soul, and I love the King George, and I love the Sir Charles stuff. I love all that, Calvin, Pokey Bear, you know what I'm saying? All of them, LJ, Kiko,
Young Guy. It's a guy named Young Guy. You need to look him up. I just interviewed him. And Marcellus the singer.
No, Marcellus.
And my guy, T-Dash.
Oh, T-Dash.
That's a singing dude right there.
Man, T-Dash, I wanted to do a song with him so bad. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I had a song about him being the younger man, me being the older one, and that I know she wants you, but she with me because I had the money. Yeah. I had wrote a song like that. And I was like, T-Dash, that'd be so tight. Me singing about me being the older man, but I got it because, I got the money. But deep down, she's dreaming about you every night.
Wow, that's hard. That's hard. But you, like I said, you've been doing a lot of different things. You one of those guys that don't ever stop working just like that. Let's talk about Just Like That.
That's my song. I got a new song called Dance Floor, though.
Yeah, I know it, but I want to talk about both of them.
All right.
I want to hear something Just Like That, too.
I just did Just Like That.
Dance Floor. I told you to do Dance Floor first.
You did?
Yeah, you don't listen to me.
Oh, I thought you said Dance.
You so
bad. The Dance Floor goes, I was at the club. No. Oh, shoot. Getting old. Hold on. Dance Floor is, I was finna leave till I see you on the dance floor. I said, self, you better stay a little more. All eyes were on you, doing what you do. Put my mind on a trip Damn near did a backflip. Almost lost my mind when I see you on the dance floor. Cause you look so good dancing on the dance floor. You gotta play it though.
Wow, I'm gonna play all of them. I love it. I
like that song.
But you just keep working, man.
And I'll be honest with you, I gotta give him props. When I wrote that song, I was thinking about Sir Charles. Like, how would Sir Charles do this song?
That's my boy
When
there.
we did the beat, I said, what would he do? And I said, you know what? I think Sir Charles would do it like this.
Hey, y'all need to work together, don't he? And I told him about you too at his house.
He know me.
I told you, y'all cut up on him up there.
Oh, I didn't cut up at all.
Yes, y'all did.
I did not. No,
y'all tripping on the stage and acting all funny because y'all was on the West Coast. But I started to come up there.
He dropped the mic.
I started to come up there. I don't play by Sir Charles.
Let me tell you.
I don't play by him.
Let me tell you. He went out there. He sang a couple notes. He dropped the mic walking off the stage. And it wasn't. And the bad part was it wasn't even about him. It wasn't even about him. So you know what I'm saying? It's just that you know. He came to a female, not him, somebody in his camp. So somebody come to Miss Jamaica and call her out her name and be all up in her face. So you like my brother now. If I see that, what am I supposed to do?
Oh, you got to react.
So here's somebody who is important in my life. She's the promoter. And I see you in her face, cussing her out, calling out her name, doing all this and that. So of course, I ain't gonna lie, I am from the hood, as little much as people don't want to say it. And you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, my name is Deuce the Shooter, and I'm Deuce. And when I become, that's a whole alter ego. So I became Deuce, because I was like, dude, who are you talking to? And I ain't gonna lie, I guess kind of.
It wasn't Sir Charles, it was somebody that was with him.
It was not Sir Charles at all. It was somebody in his camp. But he didn't know the whole story. They told him a different story. So he got mad about it. And we cool now because I think he knows the real story.
Wow.
You know, because it wasn't what he was told. It was something totally different. You know what I'm saying? And I can understand because he was defending his people. And I would do the same thing. I was defending my people. He was defending his people.
So y'all up there in California acting a fool at this ladies' event. That's what happened. That's what happened. Y'all up there.
And everything was going so good before that. Everything was just.
Y'all so talented to be up there acting like that.
I think he even said, man, I hate for you to get in Southern Soul. He said, we really going to have a run for our money. I mean, because, you know, I had to end up singing on the show. And it was, you know, I was like, oh, man, Sir Charles said that to me. And, you know, and it was like, I really wanted to, I was like, dang, I want to do a song with him. I want to do all that. And then this happens. How did
you first discover who he was, being that he's in the South and you way on the West Coast?
I have family out here. And and you know, I went to, you know, my family in Louisiana. And, you know, I went to Southern University. So, you know, I'm truly Louisiana in Southern Texas. And when I first heard of Sir Charles, was
he singing anybody? If anybody lonely, or was it? It's Friday. Yes, it is.
And because I have a large Louisiana contingency that I work with, and I'm ambassador for this thing called LALA, which is Louisiana Los Angeles organization. And so I'm the ambassador. So we go to a lot of stuff. Like I'm doing the Crawfish Festival this year, the largest one in California, in the West Coast. I'm actually performing that Saturday. I closed it out on Saturday. And so because of that, we go to a lot of the bluesy kind of
and
clubs.
You heard him. You heard his jam.
I heard him singing. So when I came to Louisiana to visit a cousin one time, we were at the club in New Orleans and they were playing him. And I was like, ooh, I like this. And then said, yeah, he used to be background singer for male waiters or something like that. And I was like, really? So that's when I started looking into him. Now, you know, I know Cupid my boy. So, you know, I listened to the Zydeco. See, that's when people tell me, oh, this is new. I was brought up on all of that. You know, Clifton Chenier, Chris Ardoin, you know, Keith Frank.
Yeah, but
those are family members.
But when you think about what you just said, you look at that and then you think about King George. King George came under Too Short.
Well,
he was with Too Short. He was
well, you know,
with Too Short.
I think I told you that.
No, you didn't. I found it out.
No, I think I told you.
You ain't told me that. Bad News told me that.
No,
you ain't told me that.
Because I know one of the. I told you. I said I respect him. He was a rapper first, and then it didn't work out with the rapping, so he went back to what he knows best. That boy talented. That boy plays. He plays his music. He ain't like these other people. He actually plays his own music.
That nigga can sing.
Yeah, he can sing as well, but he plays his own music. All that. I'm glad he didn't rap. I'm glad that he's.
What's your favorite song by him?
That It's Friday.
That ain't It's Friday. See, I knew that. It sounds just like Sir Charles' song. I told you that. He got a song called It's Friday Night.
Yeah, It's Friday.
Oh, it's going down. That one cool. But he got that.
Oh, but you like but see, everybody likes it. I gotta have to. If I, you know what I'm talking about.
That's why I gotta leave, baby.
Baby.
That's a different one. I gotta get away somehow. Gotta find me somewhere so I can have a piece of mind.
Monkey don't.
No, was that the same one? That's a good song.
That is a good. Oh, it's perfect.
They both, all of them are good. They all for me stem off the song. It's Friday by Sir Charles. That's the same type tempo.
Where's Southern Soul?
Yeah. I know it. But they all got, you know what I'm saying?
There's a formula for Southern Soul.
It sounds like, but Sir Charles was different. He sang, he would sing. Well, and then he'll go back to that, but he would sing. Sir Charles can sing.
And
like you.
And King George can sing too.
He definitely can sing.
Yeah.
But they don't sing alike. No, it's a difference.
They don't sing alike.
It's a difference the way you and Sir Charles sing versus the way King George sing. It's a difference.
He's just younger.
It's a difference.
He's just a younger version of it.
No, it ain't the same.
Because he got that. No, he got that. I ain't gonna lie. He got that KC JoJo kind of.
Y'all different,
sound.
man.
Don't you think? You know, if you're
Sir
leave,
Charles sang.
Go. I mean, he got that.
Sing.
You know, I hear that.
I'm sorry, baby. You said you never leave. He really sings like you sing.
Well, I mean,
that's really singing. Like,
I mean, you gotta realize, me and Sir Charles, we're guttural singers.
Exactly.
We sing in our gut. We sing in our gut.
But you see what I'm saying? But King George sing like a tempo song.
He do, but
I ain't never heard him just belt like that.
No, but I hear that in him.
I never heard him do that in his song.
And to me, he's like a
you know what I just
KC.
say?
He's like a KC.
I ain't heard that.
But he's like a KC JoJo a little bit.
You can't say KC. KC sang harder.
Well,
JoJo, maybe.
I hear that.
I don't know.
Well, but I hear a little bit of that. I hear he might be related. He from North Carolina.
He from South Carolina
or South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I ain't gonna lie.
He dope as hell.
They South and North Carolina. You know, and that's the Fantasias and all that.
Yeah, Fantasia.
They got that. They got that sound.
Well, I think he's dope, and I'd love to sit down with him. I've been working on
actually. I was gonna go. He's in California this weekend. They sold out the first show. It's gonna be in Long Beach, and the second show they have to put a second show. So Saturday. While I'm performing there, he performing in L.A.
Wow.
And then he performs the next day in Long Beach again.
Wow. Give me, how can people get a hold of you if they're trying to link up with you?
Just go, I have an artist card. Just call me, 818-485-7848, or go on my page, Lamar Lubin, or my Instagram is DRS_gangsterlean. I have an artist card that people go on and you can see some of my videos and all my stuff that I do and stuff like that now.
Wow, man. Thank you for coming on the show, man. Hey, man, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, join our membership. Make sure you check this next clip out by Lamar Deuce Luben. It's about to go down. Each clip that comes out, I promise you, you do not want to miss the next one. It's about to be crazy. Everything we talked about is going to be fire. Check it, man. It's been another great segment of Boss Talk 101, where the bosses talk.